when you take it as a transcript, it puts a name and what they're saying on it.
Okay.
That's kind of neat. Is this the first time we've done that?
Yes, it is.
First week, yeah, it was brought up last week, and only reason we haven't done it because we haven't thought about it. And it's amazing somebody, you know, if y'all think of something that'll improve the club, say it, and if there's any way that we can do it, we'll do it, you know.
Yeah, and it's
Great.
scrolling on the bottom of the screen out of the way, so it's not like it's going to be right in the middle of the screen or anything. So
You can turn it off too if you want to.
yeah, you can turn it off.
The thing that drove it is last week we had somebody that was deaf,
Okay.
and he wanted to make sure that he could see the person speaking to be able to read the lips.
Gotcha.
Okay, and that's what I started researching it and was able to pull it up. So
Hey, Trace,
What?
yes,
I see now that CC button came up.
okay,
It wasn't there earlier, now it's there.
okay. And on it, you have control of the size of it. You can actually turn it off. You can go pull the transcript up and look at it. And the
Yeah,
transcript lists the
so-
name and what everybody says. So
So how
so,
do you do that, Trey?
view full transcript and subtitle settings. So that's good.
Now, the question is, you were saying I can record the full transcript. Is there a button that I see that I can do that with?
um,
I'm currently letting it come to my screen, so it'll be there anyway. I think.
okay. When I'm looking at when you go pull up that little up arrow on the under live transcripts,
Uh-huh.
you can pull up the transcript, the full transcript, and at the
Right.
bottom of that full transcript says save transcript.
Very good. Okay, I'll remember to do that.
Just like chat, it says save full transcript. So, and I'm looking at it now, and it actually says who's speaking and all that kind of stuff. So,
Very good.
Now, Trey, how did you say you can get a hold? You can do that?
to put the transcript on it. You're talking about put it on to start with?
Well, no, mine automatically came on.
Okay, but do you have a button on the bottom of your screen? You go across, it says mute, stop video, security, participants, chat, share screen, polling,
I've got that.
record.
Yeah, that's
Live.
up on top. That's up on top of mine.
Okay, you should have one that says CC live transcript.
Not yet.
I didn't either, and then it came up on its own in a
Oh,
little
okay.
while.
All right, well then, I'm not gonna worry about it. It'll come up.
Well, it's one that
No, I
lets you
can
turn it
see
on
it.
and off and stuff.
Yeah. Now,
Hey,
when,
Trey, go ahead, Susan.
I was gonna say, when Eddie comes on and he has that banner on the bottom, is that gonna conflict with the transcript?
Transcript should go over the top of it.
Okay, good.
Trey, can you make me a co-host, please, sir?
Okay, let me find you, Doug.
I'm on the top of my list. I don't know where I am. here.
And me as well, Trey, and I'll help admit people.
Okay.
Yeah.
It keeps jumping. I had Doug and then it jumped off of him. Okay,
Sorry
Doug
about
Miller in Kentucky, Doug Miller in Kentucky, right?
That's it.
Okay, I got you as co-host.
Thank you, sir.
And the other person was,
Dean Grimes, can you find me?
I got you.
You got me? All right, good deal.
And I got you as co-host.
Good deal. Thank you, sir.
And let me see if I think Eddie came in. I need to give
I'm
him.
here, yeah.
Okay, I'm putting you as host and you can and give me the co-host thing.
Yes, sir, will do.
Heck, just make everybody a co-host.
Well,
I
tell you
tried
what,
it one time and my computer stopped.
now the problem is I didn't recognize names coming in, and I just didn't assign them as they came in.
It's sometimes hard to do. You're playing with a couple of different charts there.
All right, now we've seen, the question was a few minutes ago, Eddie, with that scrolling thing you have going across the bottom.
Is it there for you?
Yeah, it's there, but the transcript is right on top of it.
Okay, I can turn it off.
I'm seeing it below.
Or move it to the top.
I see it above it, so it doesn't interfere with it for me.
Well,
Yes.
what I'm saying is the transcript is on top of Eddie scrolling.
But is it for me though? It's above it.
Well,
Well, scrolling's gone.
See, that way we can see more of you, Eddie.
That's not a good thing.
Turn that thing back on.
there's a lot to see.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
That was a
Oh.
get back.
That was a get back.
They're getting mean already, aren't they, Teddy?
I'm just bitter. I can't go to Ronnie's and turn any wood. I can't go anywhere, do anything. I got my marching orders today. They're not happy.
But how are you?
Stay-
How are you feeling, Eddie?
Oh, I'm doing okay. Treatment's not killing me. It's sometimes kicking my butt, but no, it's all right.
Good.
Eddie,
But,
thank you very much.
All right, Gary. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
thank you
Gary.
so much.
That's Gary. That's all right.
You
That's
got it,
Gary.
man.
All
Oh,
right.
wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. You know, last Thursday morning, I had it on my to-do list, and it said check on CC. And about the time I did that, I had 3 emails and a call from Trey that said, okay, this is how you do it. You see, all these people are working on this thing. It's not just me. All these people are working on it. And they came through like you won't believe.
It's beautiful. I'm
And
enjoying it.
Good. I couldn't figure it out because I'm not buying into, I'm using the free system. Trey has purchased
Okay, what
the larger system for us.
you got on here is, it's fine the way it is, but if it's also coming on the chat side, if you hit CC live transcript. If you don't hit the CC live transcript, you won't see it on the chat side. It'll be just on the screen.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I thought it was confusing just listening to it. I can't read it and I can't do all at one time. That won't work.
Great.
That won't work.
Now I can understand everything.
The advantage of looking at the full transcript though, is it tells you who's talking too at the same time.
Oh, how nice.
And then under settings, you can change the size of the font if you need to.
All right.
Technology is something.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got the printing real small so that I can see the full screen.
But you can change the size of the print on it if you want to.
Dave, are you recording yet?
Pardon me. Yes, I am. I had myself muted. Pardon me.
Okay. All
Yes,
right.
he is.
I didn't get my alert that said I was recording yet.
He was recording before you came on.
I know, you know, I was
trying to sneak up on you.
I was hanging out watching a video and interesting. It was on YouTube, so I got to watching that for a little while. Did I lose? All right. I'm going to change my video here to this one because I was getting some lag in audio. Well, we can do this. Is Ron Radcliffe with us yet?
He just joined.
Just joined.
I'm here.
All right, good, Ron. Appreciate you being here tonight. Ron, I'm going to try to get this up. You folks see this? Air Force ammo vet. Is it coming up? Yeah, all right.
There it is.
And the top thing, if you ain't ammo, you ain't happy. That's what it stands for.
Something.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Ron. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Then you get, I gotta find somebody who sews. Yeah, right.
Eddie,
Sir,
take that and make a copy on your copy machine. And then put that in your your laser machine. And put that in the bottom of a bowl.
huh? I think I can do that. Yes, I can do that.
Wheels are turning, huh?
Yeah, yeah, that's a scary thing. There's a lot of noise in there once it starts working.
You
just
see
take a-
smoke coming up.
Take a photo with your phone. That's all you got to do.
That's
grab
it, Billy.
It'll
That's what I'm
grab it.
thinking, Billy. I can import it and convert it from a JPEG to a PNG, and that, the machine won't read a photograph. You have to convert it, don't you, Billy?
Mine works. I got the wireless, the Wi-Fi one, so it burns from my phone. It's
And
awesome.
you have an Apple phone or a DOS?
Apple.
Okay.
It's pretty neat. It's just it Wi-Fi's to the Niji.
Yeah, I Wi-Fi from my phone, my iPad, and my computer. So I have one for a guy that bought some equipment from me. I needed to do him some disc and send them to him. What I'm trying to do is get him hooked so he'll buy his own. They're fun to play with. It's just been so darn hot outside lately. Today, I think I blew it. Today, we're in the 80s. I think we're in the 70s this morning when we got up. And this is August. And I need to work on my tractor. And I was just a deadhead. I blew it off. It'll catch me
I was
tomorrow.
watching the news, Eddie, and they said tomorrow morning on the North Shore, it's gonna be in the 60s. But they say, don't get used to it. It's only for one day.
Well, I'm getting up at 4:30 to watch that record power demonstration tomorrow morning. So when it ends, I'm gonna go out and put that, I have the deck off my mower. I need to put the deck back under the tractor. That's a 5-minute job that'll take an hour. And then get to cutting some grass. It's either that or I gotta buy a cow. It's one of the two things. It's getting bad out there. Raisins,
Goats
Billy.
work well for cutting grass. You should get a goat.
Oh yes.
Yeah, goats, cut bag, and fertilizer.
All in one?
The only nice thing is with the cow, after a while, you have steaks in the freezer.
That's right. Once we're out, come the winter time, yeah, you're right. That's my
Hey.
day. Okay.
You did it. What you
All
get?
right. I really don't know. Maybe he turned it off. I have it set for one at a time, but I'm
Sorry
gonna
about
have
that. That
to.
was me somehow, and I don't know how I did it.
Uh-huh.
Mr.
and he's-
Troublemaker.
And he's the webmaster? Oh, think about that. Brenda, what do you think about that? Is a viable story? Brenda, did I kick you out? No?
Brenda
Brenda's
just
still-
now came in.
Yeah, I thought Brenda was in there. Can get Brenda up. Had a pretty good crowd coming in tonight. A lot of folks, a lot of stuff to talk about. Guess I'm clicking something wrong here. I see Martin's in from the great, from UK. And I see a lot of names on it. We have a, what do you call them? Dave, recognition board?
Right, under recognition.
Recognition, yeah, boy, a lot of names. I had to go there today and take a look at them, see just who's throwing all this stuff in a pot. But what I don't see is anybody with bottle stoppers yet. So that just started up. Yeah, believe me. Sunday, I cranked up the air conditioner. I had the shop nice and cool. I went in and said, I'm going to turn a couple of bottle stoppers. Guess what? I can't find a box that's got all my bottle stoppers from Ruth Niles all the parts and pieces, the manuals and all. I organized, put all in one place. It'll be the last place I look for it for sure.
Look
Yeah, you
underneath
know
your
better
pillow.
than that, Eddie.
Organization and cleaning has got no benefits.
Eddie,
Hey,
look underneath your pillow.
okay, you got me once. What's this? You keep at it?
Kick him while he's down.
Yeah. Doug, are you a co-host yet?
Yes. Yes, he
Okay,
made me a co-host a while ago.
not according to my chart.
I'm in there twice. You're seeing my second
Oh.
one.
Okay, I didn't know you were that busy.
Well,
Twins.
I've got my phone set so I can do the admitting and my iPad so I can watch what's going on.
Oh, okay. Well, now it's both of them in. Okay, I know what you're talking about because right now I turn on my iPad so I can, when people start showing stuff, I have it on a big screen TV up there. And I changed the mode on the screen and it's really gotten sharp. I like that better like this, but I can't drive it from up there. For those that do not know that, how do you tell somebody this? But closed captioning is available. You see it on the bottom of the screen? It is part of what we do now. Ray Hoffman asked for it last week. We got it working. It's in there. And it'll be with us for a while to help folks out, probably forever. It doesn't take anything away from us. But we're kind of proud that we're making the adjustments for the membership. And that's what goes on here. We have a couple of things lined up this evening. I have a 5-minute thing on glue blocks. Okay, for you seasoned turners, go get a sandwich. But for you beginning turners or novice turners that want to think about that, a glue block is just not a glue block. And don't throw them away. Ask Ronnie. I got glue blocks out there from 10 years ago. And that's my new ones. Ronnie came by one day and he says, what's all that stuff? Glue blocks. I mean, bucket full. So, but I rarely have to go turn one. I can normally find one I can modify. It's all mortar stuff or got a tenon on it to grab it in my chuck. It's the way I like it. I'm not a great fan of expanding into a bowl or a box. I can do it. It'll work. But if you do it wrong, you're going to blow it up. It doesn't take but a little bit of catch to blow it up. So, SWAT happens in about 3 weeks in Waco, Texas. That's the good news. Here's the bad news. SWAT's going to happen in about 3 weeks in Waco, Texas, but the restrictions are back on. And those restrictions can be hurtful to the organization. I heard from a board member yesterday that refunds at one time before August 1st would suffer a 25% penalty in order to get your money back. After August 1st, if you ask for a refund, there won't be one. And that's what I heard. That was effective on Saturday. Second part is, I've talked to about 5 vendors who are not going to make the trip. They either went to AAW or had dealings at AAW and are really very bothered about the lack of turners coming to the symposium because of the virtual concept. So, and I can understand this. If I don't have to go someplace and make contact with somebody, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to make contact. I worry about the people that have brought this on to us and continue bringing it on to us. I can't stand up and say, get your shots, protect me and you. It's not fair to do that. And shouldn't have to do that. But SWAT's going to suffer from it. I hate to see that. I really hate to see SWAT suffering from that. So Mr. Brown popped back in. I think he ducked out for a few minutes. We still had the Freedom Pen Challenge going on. I mean, it's hot. You can't get out and do heavy, big stuff. Turn the Freedom Pen. Get it on out to Doug. I can't wait for Doug to come in tonight. Oh, this first sergeant should be with us this evening. I see Matt Harbor's checked in, Doug's in, Dean's in, Billy Dillard's in, Trey's in, Ronnie's in, Donald from Australia. I want to say Las Vegas. It's Australia. LARAVIC. To me, that looks like Las Vegas. Got a lot of really good turners in. And look, we're looking for demonstrations, folks. If you got a request for a demonstration, I had one last week. A McNaughton coring system. I had the one way. I didn't have the McNaughton. But and mine got identified as scrap metal and disappeared while I was ill.
Oh,
So,
good.
yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. Hey, I had 4 or 5 5-gallon buckets. I had 4 or 5 5-gallon buckets out there with tools that were cut out, ready to be assembled or sandblasted or whatever. That all went away as scrap metal. Just dealing with, he doesn't need all that stuff.
That'll keep you from getting sick again.
Yeah. It will teach you a lesson. Don't get a brain tumor. It'll change your life.
Hey, Eddie.
Hey,
Hi. Hey, I got a suggestion on a demo.
and that would be,
Well, I'd like to, and I need help, I guess, with making a yarn bowl, you know, cutting the J out.
wow.
Any, you know, hints or tips or somehow the best way to do that?
The J slot is the worst.
Yes.
It is the worst. I've tried coping saws, Dremels, carving, not just hand carving. The J slot, you will never be happy with your J slot. I've given up on it.
All right,
But-
if I might offer a suggestion.
There he is. I knew he was there,
Yeah,
and I know he's
there you
got
go.
one. I knew it.
I've tried a bunch of things, including jigsaws, bandsaw, and scroll saw. And I've done it by hand and so on. My favorite method now, you can buy these little Dremel router bits. They're little router bits for the Dremel. That's what I'm using now. And I put the router attachment on the Dremel, and I put the straight bit in, and I just, take 1/8 of an inch through the J slot by hand. And then I pencil it in, and then I just take 1/8 of an inch by hand, each pass. And what I do is I put it on the drill press and drill the end slot, the end hole. Yeah, let me see. You know what? I'll come back in. I'll go find pictures and come back in with it.
Okay, good.
But,
Can we get a
I've got a
demo?
comment on that if you can. I've been working on a process for that I've never seen done before. I built a sort of a form type of thing that sits over the top of my lathe, and I cut a sort of a template of the swirl that I wanted to make, and made it fit the router bearing, so I can run a router over the top of it to cut the shape out. I've done it a couple times and been somewhat successful, but not fully successful yet. But I'm
Sort of like that bow tie template that they have there.
precisely.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm working on it.
I have 2 friends who have done exactly the same thing and like that method also. I'm not that good with a router, so I haven't done that yet, but I may yet. So I'm more comfortable with a Dremel, but the people have had a lot of success with that.
Gotta find a way to do it with a Foredom. Get a collar. There is a collar for a Foredom. I forgot about that.
Well, if you can do it with a Dremel, or you can do it with a router, you can do it with a Foredom. All you have to do is make a little sled for your Foredom to ride on the outside of whatever form you've made to do, and go and cut, make light cuts, take a little bit each pass. If you try to
Okay,
take-
what's the
if you try to
Foredom?
take- If you try to
That's
take
what I
too
was
much,
gonna
it'll-
ask.
If you try to
Yeah.
take too much, just with any tool, it'll.
Okay, Matt, tell us what a Foredom is.
Foredom is a Dremel on steroids.
Is the Dremel on
That's
steroids.
right. Foredom is a company, makes carving machines, makes motors with flex shaft. And
How do you spell that?
Foredom.
Fordom?
F-O-R-E.
Fordom.
I'll put a link to the site in the thing here in the chat.
Is that from somebody tree? That's why I was getting on tree line, a tree brand.
I believe the tree line
That's a
sells
lot,
them.
lot of companies sell it. It's a brand name flex shaft.
Yeah.
I've got the little electric one that gets up to some high RPMs, but low power for carving and stuff. And I stepped up a long time ago to that Foredom, and it has got a sanding attachment. And if you're doing the inside of a vessel, it's not that big that you can reach down inside of a vase or something with an orbital sander. And it's nice. I this is shameful. It's got a Velcro pad on it. So last week, taking the wax off my tractor, oh, what the heck? And I know it was sacrilegious, but it really did a nice job. Hey, don't forget about week stand challenges. I got to look at the recognition chart today, and y'all won't believe who's got first place right now. You won't believe it. Ronnie Bonnette. He's got what, a 37, I believe. So hey, let's get some weak stands out there. Let's knock them right out of that top seat.
I'd like to see that.
He's
Yeah.
got a heck of a head start.
Yeah, that's it. But I mean, he was using. Hello.
Hello, Eddie.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Ray.
Ray, go ahead. I'm not getting any more, sir.
Lost him.
Okay. Ronnie had the advantage on it because he picked up building scraps before we all found out how much they were really worth. He was, picking them. And then he got his son-in-law, get this, he got his son-in-law to start bringing them to his house. So, that was like robbing an armored car and getting them to deliver. But he's still got stock. He's gonna be turning some more. I stopped at the building place down the street for me. They got nothing. I mean, they're in a block 6 inches long in the whole pile. So.
Eddie, I was going to tell you a while ago, short of doing a demonstration, I have a video on YouTube on that McNaughton.
On it, McNaughton? Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of lengthy. All of my videos are lengthy, but it's I core out a big chunk of cherry that I got and got 3 nice blanks out of it, and I've got those 3 and 3 more in the drying now that they should be just about ready to go. But yeah, that video is out there on my YouTube channel.
And your YouTube channel is listed on our website under YouTube channels. And folks, if you've got a YouTube channel and you want to get it listed on our site, send that information to our webmaster. When he's not jumping in on the share screen thing, he's organizing our website to be the finest in the entire world, and he's getting it there. But the McNaughton, when I bought my one way, I had a guy that belonged to a club I belonged to say, "Hey, I can come teach you how to use it." The first 3 logs he blew out, he tore them out. And that's when I said, did you ever think about sketching it out on a piece of paper and seeing where the handle will go from the pivot point? And he says, oh, you don't have to do that. Well, I just lost a couple of blocks of wood. I think I really want to do that. First time I mapped it out, he was going, mapped it out. I got 3 cores out of 1 block and they were perfect. Thing clicked. I mean, just clicked. No binding, no fighting, nothing else. Came out. It's a beautiful way to save blocks. And for those that don't understand it, a McNaughton is a controlled, curved parting tool. Would that be a way to describe it, Doug? Doug, would you describe it like controlled, curved parting tool?
Absolutely. And it will, the McNaughton, you've got some variants that you can, you can push the inside or the outside, so you can vary your curve a little bit, where with the other 2 systems, 2 or 3 systems that are out there, you really have nothing, no control other than just making that spherical curve.
Yeah.
Eddie, here's a small nested set that I did out of a little piece. I don't know that and that's done with the McNaughton.
That is a nice, I mean, when you look at, that's 1 log, 3 bowls.
Yeah.
It's not shavings in the garden, it's 3 bowls. And that's what the McNaughton will do. And 1 way, and there's a couple others out there. I got cocky one time and made one out of a piece of heavy 6-inch pipe that was used for drill stock on oil rigs. I brazed on the tip and everything else, and it worked great. I gave it to somebody. When he gave it back to me, it was twisted like 6 ways. And I said, what happened? He says, I didn't know you had to slow down. I thought if it didn't cut, just give it a little more pressure.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Well, at least it didn't happen in my shop to me. We're looking for videos or demonstrations on technique. I have to really explain what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for an end project. We've had some great end projects. I mean, Kay turned the bowl from soup to nuts one night and it was paper thin. And he showed us how to do it and how to adjust the tools and all. To me, that wasn't the bowl that was a project. It was Cade showing us how to turn ultra thin, super thin. And he showed you the tools, the technique. You can't horse it out. You got to slice it off. I'm looking for more demonstrations like that. But then the Cade did one for skew owners. And rest of y'all are good with some certain tools, and you know it. You know, if you take a 3/8-inch deep V bowl gouge that's ground to an Ellsworth adversarial ground or whatever, and you're doing a little curly Q slices down the inside of a bowl, to some degree, it's awesome. It is. I didn't have a bottom feeder for years because I could refine the kerf or the bevel on a firm eye gouge to walk it around that corner, because I didn't need a 1/2 inch of sled behind it to guide it with. I needed a 1/16 of an inch. But you got to learn how to use that tool. I want to get some more folks that can teach you how to use that tool. Dean's not here because otherwise I'd say, Dean, sign him up, but I don't see him in there yet. See, Johnny Hughes joined us in from Ocean Springs. Good evening, Johnny. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good evening.
Hey, Eddie,
Yes, ma'am.
in the chat, Brent has a question.
Hey, Brent, go ahead, talk.
Okay, so I was back in Arkansas here a few weeks ago and hauled back some big slabs of sycamore. It's too big to fit in the back of truck, so I sliced off a couple chunks of it and it was cracking. So I threw some on the lathe here the other day, found out spalting. Now, most of it's sitting out in the shed. Do I need to get this stuff at least rough turned right away since it's spalting? Is it going to continue to rot out in the shed? it'll be all right for a year or two.
I would believe that if you don't control the moisture and the bacteria, it will continue to spalt. The moisture in the air, just ambient air, is enough to keep the fungus going. If you can control that, and guess the simplest thing in the world, latex paint.
Okay, I have latex paint on the ends. We are in one of the driest places in the country. There's no moisture in the air, and it is in the shed. So
Do you have stickers or plank?
it's stickered, yeah.
Okay.
You know, I
It
think
may be that you just don't have enough air circulation in the shed.
well, no, this stuff it's only been out there for a couple weeks, so it came from Arkansas as spalted. I didn't know it at the time. I don't mind it; it's beautiful stuff. But I just wondering if I have time to work with it, or whether I need to get this stuff turned immediately.
It doesn't take long for spalting to happen. You know, just a couple days. So
I mean, to get punky though, I'm concerned that it's going to turn punky.
well, I think you're right. If it's dry, you'll probably be fine. But Eddie's right. You got to control the moisture, because even the moisture in the wood, if you don't get circulation, the moisture in the wood in the shed will stay in the shed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you can't get to it fast enough, I'll pay shipping.
Okay. Okay.
And he didn't miss a blink.
Heavy chunk of wood, so.
He didn't even stutter on that, did he?
Yeah.
No, he didn't. He did.
Brent,
Yeah.
I just turned a piece of spalted wood a week or two ago that I've had in dry storage for 30 years.
Okay. Okay. It didn't get punky or anything on you and such, so.
There was a small area that was soft, and I just soaked it with tung oil to harden it up.
All right, good. Well, that tells me that I probably have a little time if I can't get to it till this winter. Okay.
Yeah, dry it out. I think you'll be all right.
Got to get that moisture away from it.
Well, I'm doing everything I can to get the moisture away from it that is possible, other than put it in a
Yeah.
kiln. So,
Have you got a fan on it?
no, I don't.
That will move some air around it. If you got it stickered, it'll start, keeping getting the moisture out of it.
That's a good idea. I could do that fairly easily. So I'll stick a little fan out there.
Good. Thank you, Brent. Everybody else is joining in. Matt, do you have that? All right, I'm going to click it up. All right, there you go. What do you have, sir?
I have this. This is honey locust. It's about 11 inches in diameter, and the Y slot was carved with the router bit for the Dremel, little Dremel router bits.
That's the smoothest one I've ever seen.
Yeah, I was looking at some of my older versions that I've just hand carved, and one I did with the jigsaw. One of the problems with the jigsaw is the jigsaw, like the metal plate on the bottom, leaves marks when you're cutting out the slot. And I've hand carved them, and I've hand sawn them with the hacksaw or what's that saw you use, coping saw. I've done it with those, and I like this the best. This turned out the nicest. Now
Hey, Matt,
yes, sir.
I like the design of that, because that's, you struggle when you try to put that, I'm calling it like a J or whatever in there, but that one really looks nice.
Yeah, what I did is, the way I did this is I got the center point of the spiral, like where it terminates there, and I drilled that out first. Okay, and you guys can see that the bowl's kind of thick. That bit can get that whole section there is like unsupported, so it can get really fragile, so be careful, or you'll crack it right off. But I drilled the termination point of the center of the spiral first, and then I sort of gently sketched it out with the pencil where I wanted the slot to go, and then I carved it with the Dremel with the router bit on it, the straight router bit.
Hey, Eddie,
Yes, sir.
I looked up that Foredom just now. For Christmas, you can give me one of those. It's only about $450 or $500.
Oh, I wasn't gonna go that cheap this year, but all right.
No, you can settle for that.
Okay, well, hey, you know, if I throw the cutters and the tips in, we may jack it up a little bit, so.
Hey,
All right.
Matt, one of the things that I found handy when I'm doing freehand work is this thing. It's a hand scroll saw. Although this one is a straight blade, they do make spiral blades that will cut in any direction.
Do you use scroll saw blades with that? I mean, I have a coping saw that looks a lot like that.
That looks like a jeweler's saw.
I was gonna say that's the jeweler's saw, isn't it?
Well, isn't another name called fret saw?
No, I have some fret saws, but this is actually takes scroll saw blades.
Okay, that was my question. Okay.
And
Yeah, the dogs where you lock it in, it would give that away.
yeah, this one has a straight blade in it, and this one, the blade cannot be twisted. But they do make spiral cut saw blade or scroll saw blades, and you can then cut in any direction.
Thanks, Randy. That's a good idea. I don't have the patience to do it by hand. I'd much rather use power.
Yeah,
Well,
that's the kind of saw that I've used in the past, and it was such a pain.
Yeah,
I was hoping a better way to do it than that.
I don't like the amount of energy you have to put in. Now, they have those circle blades that cut on a push and a pull. And people that really get the scrolls on know the source for them. But there's a certain amount of energy you have to do that. And that piece that Matt was showing us with that tail and that J, I might as well just break mine off before I get started, not break my heart so bad. Because that's where I'll get the little kink and pop it right off. Where the router, my energy is not going back and forth. My energy is going round, round.
Yeah, I can push that saw back and forth about 2 or 3 times, and my hands and my wrists are hurting already.
Yeah. If it hurts, don't do that. All right.
When I do a yarn bowl, I'll take a 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch mortise bit, put it in the drill, and before I turn the bowl, well, actually after I do the outside shaping of the bowl, then I'll drill my pattern, and then I turn it out. When I turn it around and excavate the inside, and then once you're there, and then you can take your sandpaper and clean up the edges.
Okay, so instead of sawing it, you're drilling it out like.
Right.
Yeah, I tried one like that, and I much preferred doing it when the bowl was finished because I had a lot less wood to cut that way.
Well, you got the same amount of wood. You're only gonna have to drill in, less than a 1/2 inch.
Yeah. Well, whatever works for you. I mean, people do that. That's a legit way to do it. That's for sure. But
We're here for ideas. We're here for ideas.
And I will say that on the picture that I put up there, that I did take files to it and I did power sand the inside of that and then hand sand the inside of that, Jay, to get it, get it right where I wanted it to be.
Yeah,
So,
unfortunately, there's not a one-trick wonder to it, is there, Matt?
no, my whole goal was to try and get it done as quickly, as efficiently, and as smoothly as possible, so that's why I'm now a fan of doing it with those little Dremel router bits. Go on, Eddie.
You have to consider the wood. And sometimes we forget about this. God made this stuff, and no 2 pieces are equal. So the piece that you did the detailing on and scroll on may have been drier, softer, wetter, harder than the next guy. And all that you got to figure all that in when you figure a technique.
Yeah, that was dry honey locust, and it was hard as granite. So
honey locust is hard no matter what.
Yep.
I spent the whole day cutting a tree down in a guy's yard and brought probably a dozen logs home and was kind of regretting it because then I was committed to turning them. They bounce back a lot. It's a beautiful wood now, gorgeous.
Yeah, it turned out wonderful. So I got the grain match just perfect too.
That's the key. I saw somebody's little box that reminded me of something that Kay did a couple of weeks ago. He had the lid put on the piece and he turned it, and the grain match was so that you thought he painted it after he turned it, because there were no flaws in the match, and it was a piece of something like a poplar. And the green and the dark green and the strings all came across, and just like it was brushed on beforehand. After it was done. You back again, Matt?
Yeah, that was the inside of it. I'm just showing it real quick.
Oh,
I
wow.
was real happy with how that turned out. Notice the pith is in it.
Yeah. That's
Beautiful, man.
surprising. Boy, great.
Thanks, guys. I'll turn it loose to you again.
There you go. All right. All right, folks, our gallery master is in the house, and that's Dane. And if you've got something you'd like to paste on the gallery, Dane Chandler out in Tucson, Arizona handles that for us. Put it in the chat. Write it right into the chat. And oh, wait. While I'm talking about chat, go ahead and put them in there. I received several emails this week from folks that say they didn't copy the chat. Can I please read the chat and tell them all the details? It'll be on our website. I love to talk wood turning, but reading that chat just ain't a strong piece for me. I'm still trying to find the guy that asked about giving a tutorial on using your iPhone to generate videos. I don't have the number. If you're on here tonight, you can call me at my number. It's on my website, or you can drop me an email at worldwidewoodturners.gmail.com. Pardon me, worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com, and I'll respond to that. I'm not like you. I can't read the chat as we go along. Some nights I can see it. Some nights I can't. You got a chat item, get it into the bullpen, and Dane will introduce you. And when he does, start talking. As soon as he says, this, I'm bringing up whoever, start talking, because with 92 people online, it's hard for us to find a face in that gallery thing and determine it's easier if you just start talking.
And sometimes your name just doesn't show up where it should be at, like Joaquin right now. Joaquin, go ahead and start talking.
Well, you were talking about grain matching. This is a little salt cellar I just made to replace the first one I made 3 years ago in my kitchen. And
pull it back towards you.
I don't know how well you can see this camera on my tablet's not very good, but if I turn it a little, you see that you lose it.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is. Now this is, so when I'm cooking and I reach for the salt cellar, I don't want to fight with the lid. So I loosened it intentionally, but there it is. That matches exactly.
You loosened it. I got to get this right. You loosened it intentionally?
Well, yeah, this was a good tight.
All
I mean,
right.
it went pop, but if I'm cooking, right, this is something I've been working on. If what's the customer going to use the box for? If I'm cooking, my left hand is over here in the pan. I want salt. I don't want to have to stop, drop my implement, pick my box up, and try to fight with it. I want to pop the lid off, put my salt in. So that's something I've been working on is what's the point of the piece? Jewelry box, you want a kind of a medium fit. You want a friction fit, but you definitely don't want a pop friction fit. You want something where they can pick the box up without dropping the bottom. But at the same time, what lady wants to fight and struggle to pop her box open in order to get at her necklace?
Exactly. Great description of what it is. I mean, I've had pieces on show had the finials broken off because somebody.
So yeah, you're sitting there wrestling. Now, wood turners, we want to hear the pop. Hang on, I got a box that where'd I put it?
Oh, the pop is important. The box is very important.
Yeah, I have a box that pops. Hang on, let me figure out what I did with
All
it.
right.
I've been I've been taking pictures to put them on my website. So oh, there it is. I'm
Right.
also playing with finishes, and I was watching Doug Moore, the episode before or after he had the bowl explode from Pole Barn, and he was talking about OB Shine Juice not lasting, and so that's OB Shine Juice. That's 2 weeks old. It pops. And this has been handled and played with, and I put it on the buffing wheel. I've been messing with this, and it's still shiny. This is OB Shine Juice as well. This has been on my countertop next to my stove, getting splashed with grease and whatnot, and it's still shiny. So I watched Gary, the Papa 1947 on YouTube, and about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, he did a video on his finishing techniques. And he did 3 walnut discs. He did one with Deft spray-on lacquer, one with OB Shine Juice, and one just with the Axe abrasive paste and polish. And what caught my attention is that he put 3 coats, between 3 and 5 coats of lacquer on the piece. So the one he used the Deft on, he put a coat of lacquer, sanded it at 600, put another coat, sanded it at 600. He did that 5 times. Then he used on top of that the abrasive paste and then the wax. Beautiful, deep shine, gorgeous. He used the I think the second one he used was Shine Juice, I think. I can't remember. But he did the same thing. He did a couple of coats. So he did a coat, sanded, did a coat, sanded. No, it was straight shellac. Did a coat, sanded it, did a coat, sanded it, did a coat, sanded it. He did that 3 or 4 times, and then abrasive paste and then wax. Beautiful shine. And then, of course, we all know the abrasive paste and wax procedure. So I looked at it, I thought about it, and I thought, well, what if I do OB Shine Juice, sand it back with 600, so really just kind of scuff it. You're not really sanding it. Scuff it a little or polish it a little with 600 and build it up. And I did 3 coats on both of these. It's 3 coats of OB Shine Juice. Then I used the abrasive paste and the carnauba wax. And I'm handling these. And you know, OB Shine Juice, the shellac wears off. I am handling these boxes. I could take either one, put it in a package, and send it to a customer right now without doing anything but wiping the dust off of it. It's and I'm still working on it. I've been talking to Brad at Brad's workbench. I'm going to try his pastes, but I think we've been doing OB Shine Juice backwards. Don't put it on top, put it underneath.
Oh, it's a great filler coat. It's a great filler coat. OB Shine Juice taught me by my master, OB Lacoste. And for years I talked about it, but what I didn't say is I will put it on and I will rub it in, I will burn it in with friction.
Absolutely.
And then I'll clean all the oil off and I will lightly mist the piece with the lacquer. And that's before I started using the polishing compound. I'm not a great fan of carnauba wax because sometimes the soft wood, you get some marks unless you're really careful about the application and the heat you apply. But I've got pieces sitting around here that I've done that on, and they look like they're dipped in glass, and I love them.
Yeah, and you know, when you make your own 1 pound cut of shellac with Everclear instead of denatured alcohol, it's safe. You can lick the bottom of the bowl. It's not going to be poisonous. They put shellac on our oranges and apples that we buy in the store.
OB Shine Juice is a fabulous finish it is a fabulous finish to prep for your final finish.
There you go. There you go.
It's part of your preparation of the wood, OB Shine Juice.
Yeah, it's
like that.
It's like sealing and then fluffing out and sealing it again. You seal the material and then you place the coating over the top of that, and then you put a finish on top of it. It's Finishes are just that. It's the last step you do when you finish a piece is apply the finish. Cutting without tearing, getting the right scrape on it to get the ribbons, sanding it from, I go 82 to whatever. I don't really go above 400. I mean, really go above 320. And then you get all cleaned down and then you start prepping for finish. All that other steps was getting the wood ready to prep for finish. And I'll beat that drum till I go away. It is, if you rush it, you get what you paid for. You get what you paid for. If they had one you could dump out a bottle and pour it over the top and it was finished, that's a whole nother ballpark. But even, you're a great fan of 3408.
Right.
You sometimes have to prep the piece for 3408 because that is.
And it pops, even, eucalyptus. Sometimes I'll get a piece that's porous. I'd have to pull one of my kitchen benchtop sugar bowl, a couple different sugar bowls, and show what it looks like. And they're, I don't know, 10, 15 years old. But it's not with 3408, but it's still with CA. But the CA went over OB shine juice, and it's just a marvelous finish.
It's a combination. The whole club, we need to concentrate more on finishes because, and I hate to do it. I went to a symposium one time. The guy said, "I'm going to teach you how to sand." Give me a break. But he has some good points. If you think you cut good enough to sand it with 320 or 400, I don't know anybody that's that really that good. And why would you want to do that? Why would you take a beautiful piece that's got a beautiful cut on it and immediately take the risk of the finish not working? Because remember, when you can't see through it because it's not clear. It's not clear because you have scratches. You have scratches all across. You can't see through those. If they're uniform, you see through them. If they don't exist, it's even better. Anybody else for Gallagher? Oh, go.
One other trick I've been using is burnishing. That's something that my mentor taught me. You pick up a handful of shavings and friction burn and burnish with that handful of shavings. That really does make a difference. Do that before you start after you put sanding sealer on, before you start putting your finishes on, burnish the wood. That makes a huge difference. It also does really well at cleaning and smoothing decoration grooves. Burnishing's better than trying to wedge a little tiny piece of sandpaper in there.
And it used to be in spindle work that you always burnished. Now, as soon as you got off the knife, you burnished it because it's so hard to sand spindles without removing the detail work. Remember, you're sanding. High lows, you're sanding. Go ahead.
On those salt cellars, did you put notches in it for the spoon?
No, I'm a pinch of salt guy. I do it all by hand.
Okay.
I guess I could. That I make this for me. This is for my kitchen. So if I did a spoon notch, I'd probably use the little stone wheel on the Dremel and just set it on the side and just let it sink in. If anybody has a better way to do it, tell me, please.
What?
Say again.
It's Martin, Eddie, and over in the UK we call them salt pigs. And a great design for a salt pig is if you turn a standard bowl but put a recess on the top, and then make a bowl that fits onto the recess so that you're effectively making a pot with a small lid on the top. Then if you make a foot and you angle the bowl slightly so that the bowl is slightly curved, it means that while you're cooking, you can leave the lid off the top and you can just keep adding your pinches of salt from what we call a salt pig.
A salt pig. Okay.
Time to hit the Google.
Yeah.
Eddie?
Go ahead, Ronnie.
We were talking about finishes. Anytime I turn anything, I don't care how good the finish is when you finish turning it. I always go back to 80 and I work up to 800. Halfway through, about 240, I will stop. I will take a spray bottle and I'll wet that piece down. And what that's doing, that's letting the grain of the wood raise. And you go sit down and let it dry off. And then when you come back, you start off with the 240 again that you left off with. And then you go to 800. And after that, the only thing I use is that Parfix 3408, one coat, and you completely finish instead of all these multiple coats and sand and sealer and all it is. When you put that 3408 on, you come back, you buff it with Canuba wax, and you're finished.
That's the beauty of finishes. Go ahead.
And it doesn't get any more durable than that 3408. When you finish, you don't have to worry about that finish.
All right, you solved the mystery for me. So you put you get it all ready and you go sit down and rest while it rests. Do you get a sandwich every time you go sit and rest?
No, I go get a cold drink.
I thought the sandwich is why you got that build.
All right, Eddie, you got one coming at you now.
Hey, you got me twice tonight.
All right.
You need to go to a safe place, Ronnie?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Do you need to go to a safe place?
No, no, I go sit right out on my patio and I'm contented. But the secret is when you're sanding, halfway between when you're sanding, stop, wet that piece down with water, let the grain raise, and then go back and sand from that point to where you finish. I believe if you go to 800, you're not going to have any problems. If you stop at other grits, well, you get what you pay for, you know?
Now, when you say you wet it, let the grain rise, because at some point when you were sanding, you may have actually clogged the paper and burnished to a certain degree.
Yes.
Without realizing it.
That's easy to do.
Maybe so. When you put that water on and raise that grain again, and you come back to it, you can feel the difference, and you're going back with the same paper that you just left off with, and you can really tell the difference and then move on from there.
Hey, Ron, do you ever sand in reverse?
Yeah. And I go to Harbor Freight and I bought one of those little inexpensive air sanders, and that's the only thing I use. Let me grab a piece and show it to you. I got a piece of red cedar right here that has one coat of Parfix on it.
Ronnie, you'll get that.
While we're waiting for that, can somebody give me the formula for the OB shine juice again?
It's one third denatured alcohol, 1/3 white shellac or clear shellac, and 1/3 boiled linseed oil. Now, the descriptions may lead you another way when you go to the hardware store. Denatured alcohol is denatured alcohol. Clear shellac is without color added. If you ask for white shellac, you can get that bin scrap that you spray over stains. And boiled linseed oil is that purchased product. Do not boil linseed oil. Otherwise, we'll read about you on the front page of the paper right away.
Yeah.
Highlight again. There you go.
All right, here we go. That is
one coat of Parfix 3408.
That is beautiful.
Very nice, Ronnie.
Cracking.
Ronnie, that looks fantastic.
I wish mine would turn out like that.
I know, mine never shine like that.
But there's nothing to it. A child could put this stuff on.
You said you take it through the buffing system?
After you put the Parfix 3408 on it, you go sit down, come back, buff it with Vonex, and then put your Canuba wax on it, the stick of carnauba wax that you buy from the major sources. And that's all that's on here.
Yeah.
And I did a demo on that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Now, what Dane did, he put multiple coats on it, and I've never seen anybody put multiple coats, but it even, you know, his had even a better shine, but hey, look, I don't.
You don't want it to look like glass.
Speaking of that, you see this right here? This was a void right here. The only thing I did, I laid not the 3408, but the regular thin CA. I laid that in that crack, and I kept building it up, and I would sand it back down, and then I'd build it up again. And the nice part about it, you can see it, but you can't feel it. So that's a win-win, you know?
Yep. If you work on the finish, you'll get it. It's nice. I like the bottom detailing. You did well on that.
Same thing here. You see it, but you don't feel it.
So, hey, Ronnie, there's a question asking about what you use to buff the inside of it.
The Beal buffing system, you got the balls. And I used to take off the buffing wheel and put on the balls and buff it. But I think the major thing is sand it to 800, use one coat of Parfix 3408, buff it with Vonex, which you get Vonex from Mark Soleil, and then you come back with the stick carnauba wax, and you're finished.
The wax goes on the wheel. It doesn't go on the piece.
Right. This takes no time at all.
It's a pretty piece. I like this grain striping in it. It's really nice.
Yeah, that's just red cedar. You know, it's hard to get a piece of red cedar that doesn't have these, I call it wind checks in it, you know?
Yeah, it's hard to get a piece that doesn't blow up when you're turning it because the heat checks from tools. Thank you, Ronnie. Great sharing with us tonight. All right, folks, we're here. It's worldwidewoodturners.org. This is our club. It is your club. It is a wood turning club made by you, for you, with you in mind. And with that, if you have been watching our YouTube and our Facebook website this week, this is what you may have seen, and I'd like to talk a little bit more about it in just one moment. Here you go.
Hey, Eddie, somebody asked what 3408 was.
It's Parfix. Spell it. Go ahead.
I just put it in chat. So Parfix 3408 is a CA adhesive manufactured by Parsons Adhesives, and it can be acquired through Mark Soleil, who is also a member of our turning group here. And it's not available retail.
But he takes care of you. You get it? He takes care of you.
Takes care of you. Absolutely, he does.
Yes, he does.
He's grumpy, but he's a great teacher. He is.
The problem is you might spend 3 hours trying to make an order with him on the phone.
There's not a problem. You wouldn't believe how many people do that to me every single day.
He's got a lot of good information though.
Yeah.
Oh, and I don't. I
agree.
Oh, you do too.
Right.
Okay.
So, without further ado, let's carry on with gallery here. So let's go back out to Wyoming and see what Brent's up to.
Brent, you're on.
Hey, how y'all doing again? So I turned a little hollow vessel here out of cottonwood. Let's see.
Oh, it looks good.
That's
It's
beautiful.
Right there.
Okay, there. It's just dyed with alcohol dyes. Fun little project. Just junk cottonwood I found out in the field. About 3/16 inch thick all the way through. So it turned out pretty nice. Very, very light. So I thought it was a fun little thing.
Hey,
Then-
Brent, you did a great job with the colors. Those colors.
Very pretty.
Yeah.
Thank you. And here's another one that was another experiment with colors and such. This is a clunky old bowl, also out of cottonwood. This was going to be a yarn bowl. My plan was to cut the thing out of this big old crack here and such. I haven't got around to it. I'm not sure I will. It's kind of a, like I said, it's a clunky bowl. This was some fun I wanted to highlight all these bug holes, so I airbrushed those oranges and such to try to lighten them up and that. So
I love those colors.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
great.
Beautiful.
Did you airbrush the whole thing?
no, just the orange. I airbrushed the orange, and the rest of it's just alcohol dye on a paper towel.
Beautiful.
Thank
It
you.
is.
So that's it for tonight. So
Thank you, Brent.
Hey,
Great.
Brent,
Very nice.
Very
Brent.
nice, very nice.
Brent,
Yeah.
that first bowl you did you airbrush that or did you do that by hand, the colors?
I shot the black with airbrush because I wanted to highlight I wanted the dark in the bug holes, and it's also just paper towels with alcohol dye.
That's a great color there.
It is. Doesn't look like a box of Crayola spilled on it. It's really planned out.
Well, actually, it was not so much planned out, except that I was like, I asked the wife, how's this look? And so she had me add a little more color here and a little more of this there. And it's like, so. Yeah.
Oh, my wife has never done that.
He has a good eye, Brent.
Yeah. So, well, thank you. So.
Thank you, Brent. Appreciate that.
All right, Terry.
Terry, yes, yes, Terry. Terry, you're up. Nope, you're not up yet.
Working on the mute.
Gotta unmute yourself, Terry.
There, did I get it now?
Yep.
I am muted and I couldn't do it the regular way. Yeah, okay, I'm here. I decided I was gonna try to make some lidded boxes. And of course, I don't like them when I started, so I kept making them until I got one I liked. This is pretty good view of it here. It's got a purple heart top and it's about 4 mil thick. It's made out of, it's mesquite, and the finial is mesquite. I made the finial on it and a purple heart. Everything's about 3 or 4 mil, except for the bottom of the top. It's kind of minus a mil. The brad point drill got a hold of me a little bit. But then I went and I made this one, and I made a top for it with a finial that I didn't like, and the top shrunk, and I didn't like it anyway. Can you see that? Wasn't too bad. That's a piece of cottonwood, the finial from the top. So I went and remade another one, and I like it better. The grain matches up, but I don't have it matched right up now. It messed up pretty good. I thought this was a little heavy, and I took it out this morning. I was going to make another one, another top for it. And I said, nah, I'll just leave that one and make another bowl, another box. So I made this. This is also a piece of cottonwood, and the finial is mesquite. And it's about the same. No, I'm about 3 or 4 mil. I'm not in there with Kate. I can't get that thin. I could, but I get negative. I made that one in the box.
You guys are using this mill, y'all using this mill term because of Martin? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, and then I made this one today. I really like this one.
I like
this
the
is
grain.
what I made when this is mesquite, and the grain matches up in it if you turn it the right way. And it came out pretty nice. I like the shape of it. I thought it did pretty good.
Good lines, they follow through.
I was going to show you one thing on them. This one is just wax. It's buffed off, polished off with a Beal buffing system and wax. It doesn't have any other finish on it. This one has got one coat of Parfix 3408 on it. With the camera, it's hard to tell the difference, but the Parfix one is a lot glossier. Kind of hard to see them.
Just made Ronnie happy.
It's been pretty hot down here, so I've been in the shop a lot because I got an air-conditioned shop. And I just been walking around picking up what I had. This was a mesquite crotch, natural edge bowl that I did. And it come out halfway decent. I kind of liked it.
That is gorgeous.
And then back on the box theory, one more box to show you. And I'm not sure what you want to call this box, but I'll see if I can move back far enough so you can see it.
You had to go stand in another town.
But this is a piece of Norfolk Island pine. You can see the eyes in it. And it's kind of hard to see because it's so big, but it's about a little over 1/4 of an inch thick. I didn't get too crazy on it because I got a pretty nice finish on it. I green turned it and then I let it set. And I did it, then I finished it up. And it looked a lot like a bean pot, so I thought I would make a lid for it. And I made the lid. I don't know how well you can see it, but it came out pretty nice. I got a little twig for a handle. It's about 12 inches. It's about 12 inches in diameter and about 11 inches tall. I don't know what to do with it, but.
Oh, I'll give you the address.
I was gonna say, I can send you my address.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
Boy, Terry, you got so many friends. Everybody offered to give you an address.
Fill up with cookies.
Thank you, Terry. Beautiful work. Wow.
That's great.
Hey, that's an idea. Fill it with cookies and send it to me.
There you go.
If I fill it with cookies, I'll keep it.
No. I'll take Chips Ahoy chocolate chip cookies.
There you go.
All
right.
Let's go to East Tennessee.
Who's in East Tennessee?
Tom is.
I am.
There
Hey,
he is.
there I am.
I had to wait for him to turn the video on.
Huh?
Oh, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay. I finally made something other than a dowel with a hole in the end. So, tried to do one of Dean's crosses, but I couldn't find a piece of wood that would work for me. So,
Right back by your face. Right by your face is fine. Okay. Right there.
Nice job.
Left is right and right's left. It's messing me up.
Looks
But
great.
I couldn't do the bark base on it because I couldn't find a tree limb that would cooperate. So I just got this plain thing. I was gonna stain it brown, make it, not just one color. But then I tried the stain on a scrap piece and it just didn't look so good. So I think I'm gonna leave it like this. This is not finished, so I'm gonna spray lacquer on it and call it done.
Hit it with a little torch. Hit it with a small torch and it'll brown up real nice.
But shield off the bottom so you don't do the base too.
Yeah, well, yeah, I would mask it off somehow, but I thought if I did a torch, it would kind of blacken it instead of brown.
You can brush it off. Take a wire brush and brush it to give it a more rustic look.
Yeah, just scorch it and then cut it back with some 240 or a wire brush, and it'll brown up.
Yep.
Okay, I'll take a sample piece and try it.
Yeah, I'd like these little non-ferrous metal, I want to say they're brass or copper or whatever brushes I can get at Harbor Freight. And they work really good for removing that burning and not leaving any metal behind that
Like
would rust, yeah. Because if
Okay.
you hit it with a regular wire brush and you leave rust later on, it'll come back as orange disease. So. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it. All right, folks, we're showing items here tonight. This Worldwide Wood Turn is your wood turning club. Dane, before we go to another one, this is something I worked on last week, and I put this out on not only our website, but also on our
Good.
Facebook page. So let me click up and get into it.
Hey, I'm Captain Eddie Castle, and it's time for a tool tip. Now today,
That's not right. It's not the one I wanted it to be. So I have to get out of this and get back to the other one. Oh well, because I can't read. So let me dump it and go back to it a little bit later on. Dane, you got anybody else for gallery right now? Dane? Am I just not getting any audio out here?
I can hear you, Kevin.
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay,
got
I
you.
just couldn't hear me.
I got you. Back to
Oh.
gallery.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's bring up, let's see what our good buddy in Kentucky is doing. Hey, Doug.
Hey, guys. Before I,
Vacation.
yeah, I just got back and been spending the last 3 days getting things back in order, just the way vacations are.
Right.
The week before I went on vacation, I watched a fellow that I'm following. He's a young turner, or not a young turner. He's a new turner. He's in extreme East Tennessee, and so I've been trying to help him over video and the internet and whatnot. And he did a project. It's red oak, I think. He said oak, but I think it's red oak. Anyway, he turned it to this point and was going to throw it in the fire pile. And so I volunteered. I said, if you want to, it's up to you. If you want to, send it to me. I'll take a look at it, see if there's something I can do with it. So he sent it to me, and this is what I saw when I opened the box. It doesn't look too bad. You see that light section there? That's some spalt. It's slightly punky, but he sent a note to me before I got it saying that it was just so soft that it was chipping out every time. Everything he tried, as soon as he put a tool to it, it would chip out. So he had put some sanding sealer on the punky spot. There you see the punky spot. And it is punky, but he's put sanding sealer on it and it's quite stiff now. I think what I'm going to do is soak that in some thin CA, let it dry good. I'm going to let it sit for 2 or 3 days after I put the CA on it. Then I'm going to come back. There is a center point in there so I can get it back on the lathe, get it rounded up, get that tenon resituated. And then he's got plenty of thickness here. I'm going to turn it, finish it, send it back to him with the description and probably a video of everything that I did with it. So yeah, right there you can see the center spot in the middle of that punkiness.
How about a little bit to your side? Is that punky along that edge?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but it's like I said, it's pretty stiff now. He's put sanding sealer on it and it's fairly stiff. There's one little section that's still a little bit soft, but once I put some CA on it, that should get it rock hard.
Could I make a recommendation?
Sure, absolutely.
Have you tried UV resin with that punky area?
No, I don't have any. I would have to order it in, and at this point in time, I'm just not able to order stuff in. Got too many other things going on.
Berea Woods has it at sale, the small bottle, plus the glasses, plus the UV light for like $27.
Yeah. Who is that?
That's Berea, B-E-R-E-A.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
So
yeah.
That might work.
Yeah, that might. It would have to be really thin to go down in there. It's like I said, it's already been treated with sanding sealer, and so it's pretty stiff, and it goes in there. It's been soaked pretty good. That was all the fella said he had, and so anyway, I'm going to work on it. I'll show it to you again next week before I get it off to him. Just wanted to share that there are things that can be done even with stuff like that. That's get it up there. You can see it's pretty rotten looking, but I don't think it's quite as bad as what he thought it is, and it can be. I think it can be salvaged.
Doug, I tried soaking it in some wood hardener that you can buy in the hardware store.
Yeah, that'd be a good option as well.
I tried it on a piece that looked real similar to that, and I had pretty good success, but it took a while. I had to soak for a day or two.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And as you can see on that inside, that's that little bit of spalting looks, it's going to give it some really nice character. And it's got some of the natural oak checking and all that kind of thing that comes along with it. I think it can be a pretty piece. once this is taken care of and we can get it back on the lathe and turn it at a decent speed with some sharp tools, and just another teaching opportunity for a new turner to let them see that, you know, you don't just chunk it.
No, you don't.
Work on it, ask people that have been turning longer. You know, I used to, years ago, I used to text and send messages to Russ Fairfield and Bill Grumbine, and those guys have helped me out tons over the years. We just lost Bill Grumbine. He just died a couple weeks ago. Russ Fairfield a few years back. He was a fantastic finisher. But man, you ask these people, call Captain Eddie and call me, call 2/3 of the people or more on this list, and you can get some answers pretty quick.
Otherwise, you create a slacker stack and you set it on there until the skills catch up to it.
Yeah. Now, remember, Kim's not with us tonight, but remember this. There's no such thing as scrap wood. I was really watching. You almost said it. One time I saw it come out and it didn't keep going. So you're okay. Otherwise, we're ratting you out to Kim.
Hey,
I hadn't heard about Bill, Doug. That's too bad.
Yes,
I've
he
worked
died.
with,
It was like 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Doug, I've worked with spalted wood, and I kept getting worse and worse. So I went in the bush and I took a shovel and I scooped up some spalted wood. It was in a mush, and I brought it back into the shop. I scooped it out with a spoon, and then I treated it with a wood hardener, an acetone-based wood hardener. And I got it so that it was solid enough that I could actually turn it. And then as a finish, I put some more of the wood hardener on it, and it made it into a plastic wood. And then I treated it like a piece of plastic and put a tung oil finish on it with no problems at all. And since then, when I get a piece like what you have, I will use the same hardener method on the spalt, which will turn it into a plastic wood, and away you go.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many things, you know, whether it's a wood hardener, CA glue, the epoxies that we have today, even polyurethane. I've heard people take things and soak it in polyurethane, even use a vacuum chamber. I even thought about doing that. I've got the little cactus juice still in the vacuum pot, but this fellow doesn't have that. And so I wanted to do something that I'm sure he's got, or has, well, he's got ready access to anything that any of us do.
Yeah, then
but
be your ticket.
yeah, I wanted to be as simple and basic as we could get. And he can advance later down the years, but right now, even his tooling, I'm been working on getting him off of nothing but scraping all the time. Start slicing. You know, it's pretty amazing what he's getting done, but it's primarily with just scraping. Even using his gouges, he's scraping with his gouges. So, but we're going to get him there. We're going to get him there.
All right, bring him on.
Doug, you can also make acetone-based wood hardener using plexiglass. Just dissolve plexiglass and acetone. That works really, really well.
I've done that. In fact, I was doing it for a project several years ago. Got the plexiglass all melted down and everything, pulled it out one day to use it, and some of the plexiglass had gotten between the jar and the lid. There was no way to get that lid off, so had to abandon it. But it can be done.
Had a glass jar, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yep. What'd you learn on that lesson? Use plastic?
Well,
just teasing.
Yeah, something, anything. Make sure I clean that jar before I put the lid on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Saran wrap works great.
Yeah, that would have done it.
Yep. Thank you, Doug. Appreciate you sharing with
Yes,
us
sir.
tonight.
Thank you.
Are we back to more gallery?
Eddie, let me add something that I found
Throw it
very
in there.
interesting on spalting. And one of these wood turning symposiums, I had a lady that was an expert on spalting, and the color on the spalting is a permanent color in the wood. They had murals that were done back 400, 600 years ago with like marquee type woods and houses and stuff, or mansions, and they use spalted wood for it. And some other stuff they use natural color. Now the natural color wood all faded out. The spalting colors are still there, 400, 500, 600 years ago. So that spalting color is effectively a permanent color, more so than paints or dyes or anything else.
I have self-spalted a couple of pieces by just putting them in my rose garden and leave them in there for 6, 8 months. No dressing on it, just went out and my rose garden used to be almost knee deep in mulch, and just brush a piece back, put the piece of wood in and bury it. The trick is to go get it before it rots.
But the point I'm making, the color on it is permanent. Now, the color in box elder, the red in box elder, is not spalting, but it's a reaction of the wood causing that color.
And that'll go away if the UVs attack it.
And it will go away with UV, but the spalting color, the spalting stays, and you can get spalting in almost every color, from greens to blues and purples and everything else, and reds.
I bought some boards up in Tennessee that were blue.
Yeah.
And they weren't dyed. It was the tree got a virus or whatever, and that color was throughout.
It's a fungus growth in there.
Yes. Oh, they were beautiful. The piece was so racked up. I made a bunch of ink pens out of it, and everybody kept saying, "How'd you dye this? How'd you dye?" Oh well.
But that color will be there 400 years from now.
Yeah.
Everything else is faded out.
Thank you. Appreciate you sharing that, Trey. Anybody else, Dane?
Oh yeah, we've got quite the list tonight for the moment. Let's see.
If we get a gap, I've got that 1 minute piece, and then I've got 5 minutes on glue blocks. If we get a gap tonight, if not,
oh sure,
let's keep rolling in gallery.
Well, let's do Bob next, and then after that, let's do the promo.
Okay, go ahead.
Yep.
Who you got? Who's that?
Grinstead, Mansfield, Texas.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
I got a little piece for a 2x6 club, our 2x4 club. But this is a inside out turning. Our local club wanted to do something for Christmas, and I don't know if that's focusing on it or not. It doesn't look like it's in focus, but
there you go, right there.
Yeah.
It has a light in it. You know, you drill it out and put a light in there. But it turned out pretty good, but it was made out of 2x6s, and I had to glue several pieces together to get it this big. But
It's
anyway,
a nice piece.
That is very nice.
It looks
Dave,
great.
you're gonna put him in the 2x4 club for this?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've been there.
Oh, okay.
That's a very nice piece.
Yeah, well, thanks.
It is.
But it turned out real good. This
All
was,
one piece aside from gluing up the styles.
do what now?
I said that's all one piece aside from gluing up the pieces to do it.
Yeah, it's all glued up all the pieces, so it ended up being like a 4.5 inch square.
Yeah.
And then you cut it up into 4 pieces and turn it once on the outside, and then you break those 4 pieces apart and turn them around inside. So this in here really was the outside before. You know what you see here was. And then you glue it back together and turn it again to make all the rest of it. But,
It's an art to lay that out. When you do that inside out, it's an art to lay it out, and don't let your mind mess with you.
right, yeah. You almost have to look at it like a half a piece. You know, like I don't know if I can get this on here right.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's
right. That's what you're cutting out right here. Whoops, right in here somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's hard to see. You're right. It's hard to see that thing.
but you didn't. No mind. All right. Beautiful. Bob, appreciate sharing with us tonight. That's it.
Nice piece.
All right. All right. Be careful about using the word scrap tonight because Kim is in the house. So, all right. We're going to go to that piece I told you about. I got a little sidetracked a little while ago because I couldn't get the right one up. But I put this on our Facebook page and our web page and our YouTube page, but this is what we're working on right now. So let's see if it comes up.
Eddie, I love it.
Wow.
Very good.
Good. Very nice.
Great deal, lady.
Now, thank you so much for compliments. This is a team effort. It's a team effort, okay? We don't do anything by ourselves here. But you saw the photographs and some were awesome, dynamite, all provided to us from our membership. But I like to keep this going because it entices folks to join us and be part of this group. And the group is open to everybody in the entire world that wants to be a woodturner. Non-commercial, nonpartisan, we're non-religious, we don't allow any politics, and we're just going to talk woodturning. But to get there, I need your photographs. And I need those like you won't believe. So send me the photographs to our Gmail account, worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com, and we'll use your photographs. And I'd like to update it at least monthly. And I get tons of photographs for our newsletter and all, but I need more. I'm greedy. I need more photographs. I want to see your work. I want to see what you're turning out, the techniques you're using, the styles, what's going on in there. That's all up to you. So we will never turn down your photographs of your work. We don't make comments on it. Remember, we have a no but guarantee. We'll look at your piece. We're not permitted by law of saying, I like that, but. There's no but, not permitted. All right. That's one of the things working on this week. We got a couple others, but we're going to go right back to gallery again. Dane Chandler is our gallery master. And who you got, bud?
All right. Well, you know, I'm going to skip out of the line just because it is so late over in the UK. In case
all right.
Martin
oh, so late. He's watching Johnny Carson.
Definitely not. And I did say to Dean that I would miss my turn because I can fill in a space when not so many people are showing.
That's all right.
For those that don't know me, I tend to do very, very simple turn-ins. But there is one thing that I've been working on for quite some time that I wanted to bring you and show you because it's taken about 5 weeks to develop. Very simple turn-ins, but trying to put things together sometimes takes more time. And this is a gatepost lamp, and I've obviously had to make 2 of these because they need to be a pair. So there's 15 turn-ins in this that all needs to fit together, but the whole thing is turned.
Wow.
You can send that one to me. You can send that one to me. And then the next one you make, you can send to me too.
What I've done is I've worked out a design for this. So this is turned and it lifts off its base so that the wires can obviously be fitted. The glass is sealed inside. And then the top was the hardest section, because what I wanted was somewhere where I could fit a bulb. And of course, with it going outside, the wood is going to move. So what I've actually done is created a mount in there made from plastic that I've turned, and then a base put onto the top cap, which allows it to lock into place. I can see there. And that now locks that one into place. Once I've designed it, my wife said to me, what happens if you break a pane of glass? You can't get it through that hole. So the one that I've designed actually ended up going in the bin because it was no good. I couldn't replace the glass. So now all of these finials unscrew and the whole top comes off, be it to fit the glass.
Well, that's pretty inventive by your wife, isn't it? Yeah.
Very inventive by the wife. I nearly finished the design before she got involved.
That is fancy.
So that one, and what I've managed to do is recreate that. Recreate that one and just add something a little bit different to it, which then makes come off, which now makes this one, and this one hangs under your porch or also goes over your kitchen table. The lights will be fitted at the top and then come up the chain.
That's nice, Martin.
To go across. Exactly the same design as this one.
It's beautiful.
Just
like it. Nice.
Boy, the art we see here is amazing.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yes, that is amazing.
We had to go all the way to England to get it.
Yes.
What is that, Martin?
So again, we were talking about finishings earlier. These lamps are designed to go outside. So the sanding on these only goes to 240 and then it has to stop because I want the oil to penetrate in. So these have got a UV protection Danish oil coated onto them. Each piece, I put the Danish oil on first coat on the lathe individually, put the whole thing together and then give it a second coat of Danish oil. And I stood this one outside in the rain to make sure that the whole thing was waterproof and the Danish oil was just running away from it to make sure the water was running off. So I've had it outside in the sun and I've had it outside in the rain to make sure that if the timber moves, it won't crack with glass. So it's been tested now for nearly 5 weeks in and out of the workshop, into the house, into all different temperatures. And I'm pleased with it and I'll put them to market next month or so.
Really nice, beautiful.
Yeah.
So Martin has figured out how to turn a square lamp on a lathe.
That's right.
Yeah, and had it come out really nice. Now, Martin, since you say it's going to go to market, Kim's building a new house. If Kim was to buy a set.
Yes, yes, that would be awesome. I do need 2 pendant lights.
There's the gate lights and then there's the full. I do the full. Give me 2 seconds. I might actually have a picture of the full lamp. That there. That there's your full lamp.
Here it comes. All right.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah, very good.
There is nothing on the market I mean these are made from solid oak. I couldn't find anything on the market. Everybody over in the UK now seems to be building oak porches and they're getting oak windows fitted and a lot of timber going on the front of buildings. And I thought if somebody ever wanted a timber lamp, you couldn't buy one. So that's what I come up with. And the design's taken me nearly 2 months to get it right.
Well, it's beautiful. What you did worked. Wow.
Yes.
Have you tested it with the light bulbs? Is the
No.
heat an issue?
It shouldn't be. I mean, I haven't tested it. I haven't tested it with the lamps. Ultimately, this is glass. It's not plastic. So the heat issue in against the timber shouldn't be a problem at all. The outside edge is glass, so you haven't got any chance of warping on the plastic. Some lamps have plastic in, and mine have glass in. There is also 2 millimeters around the top to give it an air vent to allow the air to come out if there is any heat generated. But the lamps will probably be LED lamps rather than normal outside, you know, the globe lamps.
Yeah, compact fluorescence would even generate very low heat.
Yeah, there's not a lot of heating lamps anymore in bulbs anymore.
Yeah.
So no, it hasn't been a concern. I haven't put bulbs into them because certainly with outdoor lights, if you're getting an outside light fitted, you're getting somebody trained in to run them wires. And what I've done is I've left sufficient space all the way up to put armored cable right the way up to the top of the lamp if they wanted to.
Good. All right. Beautiful, beautiful work.
Very well done.
Thank you.
And Martin is one of our members from the UK. And I see we have one of our other members from Australia in tonight. And we're showing gallery here on Worldwide Woodturners, your wood turning club. I'm going to beat that drum. Your wood turning club. Anybody else up, Dane?
Well, let's see, we got Randy Smith, but he doesn't have video on. Randy, you're there with your video. I can't select you.
All right.
All right, moving on. Let's see, we'll go with Robert.
Robert, start talking to us.
Okay, yes.
Robert,
You hear me?
I can hear somebody.
Can you hear me?
All right, I got Robert. I got Robert right now.
Okay, thank you. Well, first of all, I wish to thank Dane and Ronnie for turning me on to 3408. I contacted Mark Soleil, and you're right. He gave me, anyway, by the time the night was over, he gave me a tour of his shop. So, but anyway, I got the glue and he says, what are you going to do with it? I says, well, I'm going to do turnings and that. He said, you going to do any pens? He says, yeah. Well, then you need 3406. I says, okay. So he sent me that and the activator. Let's see. I want to show if you could see the
pull it back. There you go.
The finish on that pen.
That's beautiful.
I mean, that's all with 3406.
Oh, wow.
Nice job.
Isn't that nice?
Well, like
Yeah. And it just pops. I mean, and this was just, laminated wood that didn't look like anything. And with that on it, it just pops. I was shocked when I finished them. So, but thank you both you guys, both you and Ronnie, Dane and Ronnie for turning me on to that. And as I say, Mark is really a wonderful person. He'll tell you anything you want to know.
Oh, you got to take a lesson with him when he teaches that wood slicing.
Yeah.
Like nobody else really does.
Yeah. Oh, just as kind of a hint, he doesn't like to talk on the phone, but if you FaceTime him, it's a whole different story. He FaceTimes.
All right. And Mark Slay's got a website. You can contact him through his website and all that information. But one of our guys will throw his phone number in the chat for you. Let me mention now that if you're with us tonight and you hear or see something in chat and you want to keep it, just go to chat when you're leaving and click on the chat lower right hand corner, 3 dots. Click on the 3 dots, it'll say save chat. And the chat will be on your computer at home for you. So if you miss a note, it's there. All you do is go get it. We're doing gallery again this evening. Dane, who we got?
Well, let's go to Alamo City.
There's Billy Burt.
It's me. Yeah, this is this is that spalted maple. What's left of the spalted maple bowl that tried to take my thumb off.
You got back at it, huh?
I did. It was originally going to be about yay wide and about yay high, but things happen.
It was a design the design change. That's all.
Yes, but the spalted maple I think came out really nice.
I like the
It's
lines in the bottom. Nice.
There's
That
got
is
it's
beautiful.
got some really cool flame up in here that's kind of hard to
Beautiful.
see. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah, that
I
was
love the
really
spalting in
didn't
this.
it?
Yeah, I left it about 3/8 of an inch thick because it's relatively soft and a little bit punky in a couple of places. I had to treat with CA, but all in all, I'm happy with it.
It looks great.
Thank
I
you.
love it.
Good.
That's it.
Good job, Billy.
I won. I got back at it.
Yeah. Billy got into the Brenda's Band-Aid brigade with that wound he had a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I didn't get hurt this week, by the way.
Oh yeah. Hey Brenda, how you doing? You got any? Did Brenda did Brenda get any Band-Aids this week? I hear her
Well-
laughing. Put her hands up. Put your hands up, Brenda.
Well, I stabbed myself earlier with a utility knife.
Excuse me, I just heard somebody go, oh yeah. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I've not been turning because I've been cleaning the house this week and ripped up the carpet in my spare bedroom with a utility knife. Yeah, it come loose off of the carpet and I stabbed myself.
So it's just pretty much course on what you do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Got to keep in mind a job. I saw a sign on a job site one time said no bleeding on company time. And that superintendent was hard about it. He wouldn't give in. Okay.
Billy was making fun of me a little bit ago about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. Tell him to show you the backdrop he had.
Who had it? Billy
Dillard.
Billy Dillard in Houma, Louisiana.
Yeah. Show him the back. There you go.
Yeah, okay, I remember seeing
Yeah,
that.
that's a picture off my Facebook page.
I'm proud.
Yeah.
I can actually reach back and touch her, really.
Pat me on the head. Oh my goodness.
There we go.
Gotta have fun. Gotta have fun. Thank you, Billy.
Yeah.
That's great, Billy.
Oh my goodness. See, we're all able to make fun of each other, and it's all good.
It is.
Yep,
It is.
all good.
We're all family.
Yep.
Friends.
Nobody
One
is
family.
James DeBro, you're up.
All right.
You
I've
could
got
beat it.
some bottle openers for the tailgate party. I've got a
When-
bunch getting
when-
ready for our craft show.
When's the tailgate party starting? I don't want to
As
miss
soon
it.
as y'all get here.
All right.
I've got this one's made out of, I believe, spalted pecan, and I've got 3 more made out of mesquite. And
I
I'm
like
gonna
that
get them ready
spalted.
for arts and crafts show coming up in November.
Love it.
That's what I've been doing lately.
Good. It's pretty work.
Look,
Where'd your fittings come from? Where'd you get your fittings?
Craft supply.
Okay.
What kind of finish?
What kind of finish you put on those?
This one is a couple of coats of CA. All the others are Hut polished that I've got. I put several coats on these.
They look very nice.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, nice and smooth. I've got one where I burned in some lines into it. A little bit different.
That's an easy technique given character. That's what it is.
Oh yeah, it didn't take long at all.
No.
To put it in.
Do you have you ever made the ice cream paddles?
No.
They got a handle just about like those. That's been my #1 seller at craft shows.
What do you sell those for?
In my area, I sell them for 20.
Okay. That's what I thought these would go for in my area in San Antonio.
Yeah.
220.
There, yeah. Billy was showing the ice cream paddle from Penn State.
Yeah.
I love making those things. Like I said, the handle on them looks a lot like what you're doing there.
Yeah. It doesn't take long to make one.
Right.
Just a few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. That's
So
good.
that's all I've got for tonight.
Well, good
Thank you,
luck on your
James.
show.
Thanks.
Thanks, James.
Thank you.
Let me keep one in stock for when we show up. I mean, we don't go
That's
all
right.
that way.
There'll always be one hanging on the wall.
All right, great. All right, who's up next? Dane, we're doing gallery here, folks. If you want in, go to chat, put in, I've got something, Dane, and he'll call on you. Once he introduces you now, start talking.
Ray Davis over on my neck of the woods, New Mexico.
Yeah, good evening, everybody.
Hi.
I got one that I finished today. I'll put it up if I can get it over where it belongs.
Yeah, that's pretty. I love those designs.
Oh my goodness.
I used one of his pieces on one of our promos, and it was one of those that I had to stop it and take a hard look at it. It was gorgeous.
Beautiful.
That's great.
That is
How many is
beautiful.
on
I
that?
love the bottom. The bottom is nice.
It took me about 3 weeks to get this finished. I had a few medical issues, and I have to give credit to that the Papa 1947. He put some YouTube up there, and I kind of copied it from him, but I had to go through about 3 different iterations before I could get all those to line up perfectly and right in this middle center there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not easy to do.
It was difficult, but
Yeah.
it came out very nice. I
Hey,
did
Ray?
follow, like I think Joaquin mentioned that I followed his finish on this, which I'd never used before, but it was the Minwax polyacrylic, and I put about 4 coats on there, just sanding very lightly with 400, 600 grit just to take off any nibs. And then I finished it up with that Axe sanding paste and their wax. And I think it come out really nice.
Hey, Ray,
Yeah.
yours is better than Papa's 1947. Flip that bowl over where we can see the inside.
Yeah, everything.
Look at that joint. Look at that joint.
No,
It's
no, what
gorgeous.
I'm talking about, now you gotta
Yeah,
remember,
you nailed it.
he cut the rings and glued them back together and turned this again. You do not see any segment parts in that bowl.
Like I said, I had to go through 3 iterations to get it perfect or near perfect. It was a challenge.
If nobody's seen that video on Papa 1947, that is a flat piece that he's starting with those spirals.
Right, it was like a board. Once you got the
and he's putting it on the lathe, and he's cutting the rings, and then he's stacking them and turning them again.
Right.
Right, like an economy bowl.
Right.
Normally, you're able to see where each piece is glued
Blue
together.
lines.
You don't see that on this piece.
Yeah.
Oh, the lines are smooth and uniform.
Yeah, that's
and
gorgeous.
what? And that's maple and walnut.
Yes, it's maple and walnut.
And walnut or maple is notorious for showing glue lines.
Well, I can see a glue line, but it is not visible.
Well, it's 'cause
the camera.
you know they're there.
I know they're there, right? And
That's
I probably
okay.
won't do it again.
Keep it to yourself. Don't tell us where it's at.
Ray, we can't see them. We can't see them.
No.
That means they're not there.
We can guesstimate where they're at. Those of us who've done stuff like that, but for the most part, the casual wood turner and definitely the public is not going to understand or recognize how that is done, other than what kind of tree is that grows like that?
It's 8 inches across and about 2.25 inches deep. So
yeah,
I'm waiting for the photograph, Ray. You got to send me a picture of that one.
I'll send you a picture.
Ray,
Oh,
what
that is
kind of parting tool did you use?
I made my own parting tool because I wanted a really thin kerf on that. And so
What'd you make it out of?
I took a knife that I had, an old one, chef knife, ground it down real thin, and just made a parting tool out of it. And it's
Cool.
three sections that are parted off and then glued back together.
Ray, I got a question for you. When you were parting those pieces all out, what angle was that?
45 degrees.
45 degrees. Okay. All right. Nice work.
It is beautiful. Man, we are so lucky to see this work tonight. Wow.
It's awesome.
It is. Thank you, Ray.
Very much. Appreciate it.
Very nice. And I'm glad you're feeling better. You're back in the shop.
Oh, I'm back in the shop. Yeah.
All right.
Waiting for my new lathe.
All right. Stay cool, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right.
All right. Well, let's go see what Dean's got going on in his workshop this week.
Well,
Hey,
hey,
Dean.
Dane, how's it going?
Good.
So this had such a good reaction to the little boxes, I decided to go ahead and make one a little bit bigger.
Hey,
And so-
have you been ruffling through my cupboard? I've got one just like that.
Got one just like it.
You know what I do too, but mine's dyed green.
And
But I
and this-
didn't do those rings. I didn't do the rings.
This one has, if you it's got just a touch of a pop, but you don't have to struggle. It comes off real easy. So you know, I'm kind of like what they were saying earlier. You know, the wood turners like to hear the pops, but normally ladies buy these boxes and they don't want to have to be out there struggling to get the lid off.
I've had them ask me, do you have one that's not stuck?
And Captain, can you tell me what these are?
Bottle stoppers.
There you go.
Good.
You're talking about bottle stoppers. I thought I'd go in and grab a couple to show here. I've got a couple there, and then this is one that it doesn't matter how many of these I do. They
Never do
don't
enough.
stay in the booth very long.
Nope.
And it's
Classic design.
just a simple, you know, shape it like a barrel and put a couple of rings on the bottom and the top. And I used to drill a hole in the side and fill it with coffee grounds so it had a little dark bung hole on the side of it. I don't even do that anymore.
They're beautiful.
Didn't seem to have an effect. People just absolutely love it.
Hey,
And I
what
tell
is
you
this?
what,
I
guys,
love that one.
if you want a quick project, you can go out and turn these things. And I'll tell you, I turn the tops, and I've probably got 15 or 20 tops in there that I don't even have the stoppers to put on them yet, but I got a show coming up, so I'll go in there and count exactly how many I've got and order enough stoppers that I can go ahead and put the tops on them and have them ready for the show in September.
I made a carousel, or not a carousel, a wheel, the wheel that goes over, you know, the vertical wheel. Can't
Ferris
come.
wheel.
Ferris wheel. I made a Ferris wheel to show mine off at a trade show, at an art show, and sold every one of them that day
Yeah.
because they come up and spin the wheel.
I took a barrel stave and made it come up and over, and then drilled holes at an angle. And so that barrel stave is what holds mine. But I've seen those carousels and I love that idea.
Yeah, as long as you have something that has to let the light glint on them, off of them, through them, or whatever, and that's eye candy. They have to check it out. And if they pick up one, always be willing to deal for the second, because there's a second one they want.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. We're not supposed to be commercial here, but that's just my input.
You know, you got to support the habit, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Amen.
Go out and put some shavings under your feet.
There you
Okay.
go.
All right, let's go to my home state. Let's go to Casa Grande. Hey Gary, how you doing?
There's Gary.
I hope I can show it okay on this one. Some of them don't show, but I turn this pen, if I can get it right.
There you go. Back up a little bit. Back it up.
It's not very clear, but
If you pull the camera back, it might get clearer.
I'm trying to get it clear. I'm sorry. I don't have the best camera in the world. So.
Whoa.
Yeah, you're just a little too close to it.
Well, what I do is I carve also. So it's a bolt action pen, and what I've got is I've got a. I'm sorry, guys. I just can't seem to.
That's okay.
It's all good.
It's just not very clear.
And just not all of it.
But it's a bolt action pen, and I carved the rifle, the helmet, and boots on the ground. And what happened is the pen is split on one side. I'm getting dizzy doing this. I hope you aren't. It just doesn't want to show. I don't know.
It's okay, sir. We're wood turners. We'll trust you.
Eddie, I'd send it to you, but I have problems sending stuff to you. I tried a couple of times to send a whole bunch of stuff, and it just wouldn't go through.
Okay.
But anyway.
But you know, you can also send it.
Pen that I carved, and it's split on one side. I wanted to show it before I got rid of it. I'm going to take it apart again and redo it. So it's just it's just one of those. I'm sorry, it just won't work.
No problem, right? If you want to send, Gary, if you want to send something to the club, or you don't have to go through the website. I mean, our email address, you can go to the website and there is a link to contact us. And you can also, on that link, put your name, your email address.
Right there.
And then it says add file. You can add the files to it.
Yeah, and then I got the other ones. So these are made out of that's Bocote. Some real nice design to it.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Those are pretty.
Those are beautiful.
These are getting ready to ship to you guys. So.
Oh, wow.
There's 13 of them there. And I turn a lot of pens for the San Diego Woodturners. They have a thing called Turnaround for Vets. And I used to go to Camp Pendleton every Tuesday, the Wounded Warriors Department. And what I do is I teach them how to turn pens, bowls, and bottle stoppers. Did that for a lot of years. And the guy that runs it, his name is Paul Simpson. He just sent me 100 pen kits to turn for them. So
wow.
I'm kind of busy the next week or two.
Wow, that was nice.
Beautiful.
Protect the nose will protect our freedom. That's what it's all about. So,
yeah,
thank you.
It's a good feeling when you do it.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. It really matters. It really matters. Don't let the politics get in your way, folks. It's not politics. You're an American, or you're loyal to your country. You take care of the people who are loyal to your country. I believe in it. It's the only way. So, anybody else, Dane?
Well, let's see. We got Dick Stroh up. Dick, go ahead.
Where's Dick Stroh at?
What I wanted to show was a bottle stopper display rack. Where'd it go?
Okay. I don't know. We can see you.
I got you.
We're looking at it.
That looks neat.
Pan it a little bit to your right.
Say again?
Move the camera a little bit to your right.
Okay, yeah, let me get it off of the rack here.
There we go.
That is a neat idea.
We want to see the stopper rack, not you.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to get over to.
Very nice.
That's ingenious. Nice.
And you know, you don't have a lot of money in it, do you, Dick?
No, it's just a 2x2 on a Lazy Susan. And wait a minute. I got
utilizing all sides.
I even drilled holes around the bottom so that you can.
Sweet.
That is nice.
Very nice. I like it.
And you guys do some.
What are you using for hooks or hangers?
Coat hanger wire bent and with a screw. And you see this one right here with there's a screw that I put into the 2x2 and then wrap a wire around it, make the ring, and it just painted the whole thing white so that the colors of the stopper shows up and that sort of thing. So
Pretty neat. Thank you.
Very nice.
Yeah.
that's
How many
it.
how many can you put on there?
2, 4, 5, 10, 15, maybe 30.
Well, I like that.
I gotta like the dollar ratio there.
Yeah. I like that idea.
So you got 30 there, and then how many you got on the bottom? 15?
Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, probably 15 or so. Yeah. I don't know if you've
Very
ever
nice.
seen that. That one is actually cork that I CA glued so that it I could screw it to the stopper to
What
hold
would
it.
be really neat is at either the very top or at the bottom, cut the tops off of the glass wine bottles so you can see them at least kind of like displayed in the bottle, and it'll also add some more texture and attention to your display, especially if you can get different colored glass bottles. I think that would be really neat to add a glass bottle with it in there so people can kind of like, you know, I mean, I know bottle stoppers, but from a girly point of view, I guess it would be neat to see a glass bottle somewhere incorporated in your display. So it's shown inside the glass bottle and you can swap them
I
out.
had always thought, Kim, that I would have a wine bottle with a couple of layers of plastic with holes in,
Yeah,
so
that'd
that
be
it
cool.
would they would spin around the bottle.
Yeah, that would be really neat. Somewhere
But,
throw something like that in there to kind of give it a less, I don't know. I don't know what, I don't sell bottle stoppers. So just for like maybe the whole group, what is your demographic as far as selling bottle stoppers? Is it mostly females, or do you find it's a mixture of both? Like who shops for those types of, I mean, because that's a bottle stopper.
It's
like
women. It's 90% women.
Okay.
Well, when I go to a craft show, my $50 pins are not selling at garage sale prices, but these things, they'll go for $10, $15 easy.
Mm-hmm. And who do you sell those to mostly? Would you say male or female?
Well, mostly female at the craft shows.
Okay,
'Cause
that's
they're
just,
at-
I'm
the-
just
the
asking
craft
because
shows
that's
that
my mind is thinking something that would be displayed, since females are mostly the ones that purchase them. Not making it girly by any means, but kind of like, you know, because we like sparkly, we're attracted to, you know.
Well,
Look,
you can
squirrel.
think too that the shows that I typically go to are the high schools where the PTA was trying to finance the all-night alcohol-free graduation party.
Oh, oh, well.
So they're looking for, you know, items that are easy to make gifts for. And so this is what I was thinking of.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Great piece. Good idea. Thank you for sharing it.
Thank you, Dick. Appreciate it.
Put an
Thank you.
bottle for olive oil instead of the alcohol.
That's a
That's
good
it.
thought too.
That's why our promo for this says we're doing a bottle stopper challenge, not a wine bottle stopper challenge,
Yeah.
a stopper challenge, because I belonged to a group one time where they wanted to turn stoppers, and some guy got up and said, no, I can't do this with wine. And we had to go find, the next month we showed olive oil bottles that you could put them on.
So hey, Kim, on your description, I might have just been me not paying attention or not hearing it, but I didn't catch what you were saying about the glass bottle, the wine bottle in the beginning.
Oh, my connection is weird here. Sorry about that. I was saying like cut a top off of the bottle. So like show, I actually drew it.
Take the neck off.
Yeah, so just take this much of the bottle and then display your bottle stoppers inside the bottle and incorporate in the display somehow. Because when you showed that, of course, my brain went nuts.
I saw a guy at an art show. He had the tops cut off of different colored bottles, and he had them on a coaster, And then he was displaying them so they could handle them and look at them and see it's
Yeah,
right.
that's-
It's all bling. You girls are attracted to bling.
Yeah,
That's all.
and different colors. I mean, like that color there that he's holding up, that blue bottle, it's gorgeous. And it just, also you can see the colors of the glass kind of like make each of the bottle stoppers kind of pop a little bit as far as their style and design. So it kind of really draws you in. Ooh, what is this?
And
Especially
as I
people who might not even know anything about bottle stoppers. That's immediately they're going, ooh.
About those bottle stoppers, are they solid enough to where you put it in and you can turn the bottle down on the side, or does the bottle have to be upright? I don't make, I make cork and then.
Ruth Niles has got some that have 5 rings on them that Paul Holmes makes for. It's a brand new design of hers, and Paul's her machinist. And you can slip those into olive oil bottles and put them down on a shelf. And wine, if they don't have carbonation, they'll stay. There's carbonation, they're going.
Yeah, so I've tried them in, I don't know, probably 5-6 years ago, and none of the stainless steel versions, they would all leak, whether it was alcohol or olive oil. So
I haven't had that problem.
They've
The ones I make don't stay in either. You can't pick the bottle up with the stopper or by the.
You mean like that?
Yeah, mine don't do that.
These are either Ruth Niles or stainless steel bottle stoppers.
Hey, Dick.
Yes.
Got the new
I have a
design.
question for you.
Yeah.
You're selling these for how much?
$15.
And you're paying about $7 for the bottle stop.
True.
So there's not much there, huh?
Don't need much.
Well, yeah, let's not get into denominations.
Stay out of the pricing, Ronnie. Stay out of the pricing.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I'll throw an idea in the mix. When I was selling bottle stoppers 4 years ago, 5 years ago, when I was doing the craft fairs, Kim gave you a great idea there about popping the bottle stoppers into a bottle, because there's nothing like displaying something and telling somebody what it's for. It saves you having to explain what it's for. What I didn't like to do was carry glass bottles around. So in my head, I decided that I would turn a bottle. So I turned the bottle shape, and I used the Joe Sonia paints to decorate that bottle shape. And then I put the bottle stopper in the top. And at the time, I was selling bottle stoppers at 15 UK pounds, which is probably about $22. So you're not a million miles away. I ended up selling the bottles that I was turning to display my bottle tops for £30.
Oh.
And I ended up selling more of the bottles than I was the stoppers. So I just started selling wooden bottles.
And send them over to Dick to get the stoppers.
Yeah.
Start turning resin bottles, and you don't have to worry about them clanking around. They look more like glass. But the wooden bottles, that's really cool. You're selling those more than you do the stoppers.
The wooden bottles, lots and lots of people collect wooden bottles. We display them in pubs over in the UK. It's the bottle shape that they like. And I was using a lot of the Joe Sonia paints, and just if you put lots of colour on there, it's exactly what you were saying, Kim. Women seem to be attracted to something that's glittery or sparkly. It doesn't actually matter what it does.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Well, my original intent for these bottles was that there would be a plastic piece that was flat, circular, and had holes all the way around, so that I had stoppers all around the bottle, up here, down here, and at the top. Yeah. And that was the original, but I never got around to doing the plastic pieces and drilling the center out so that it would stand on the bottle.
They actually make a wooden piece that you sit over top of your bottle that holds 2 wine glasses. And
Yes.
it's wood turned. I've seen them on Pinterest. It's really interesting, but you're right. That would be a great idea to put those in there. And then if you do decide to make the ones that hold the wine glasses too, you can also, I know about the whole getting around to it, because I think we all have an idea of the whole getting around to it.
Yeah.
Brent's just asked me if I hollowed the bottles out. No, I didn't, Brent. I used to just drill just enough in the top to allow the bottle stopper to fit in. And if you leave the bottles so that they're not hollow, they've got a bit of weight about them, and people like to just display them. So if they've got weight, they're not going to blow over or fall over, they'll just sit. And I successfully sold an awful lot of bottles. I sold far more bottles than I did stoppers. Far
That's
more
amazing.
stoppers. All different sizes.
That's an
Martin,
idea.
show us one of your bottles.
What?
Martin, show us one of your bottles.
Oh, would I still have a bottle?
That's okay. If you can find one.
I'll get you one for next week.
Okay. All right. Dane, who else we got for gallery tonight, sir?
We got David George coming up. David, go ahead and start talking while I bring you up.
Are you there, Dane?
Yep, I can hear you now. I can see you.
Okay, sounds good. I just wanted to share, there's a wood bowl on a walnut that I started turning. Okay, get it here. I started turning, and actually there's some nice grain to it, and I started with 2 bark inclusions on it, and about halfway through it, one of the bark inclusions just kind of went across the workshop, and so I had to change the design a little bit, which came out okay. And I think there's maybe a little bit of a, yeah, it's on here right there. If I can get it down here, that's all that's left of the bark inclusions right there. But my wife was watching one time a video with Kim down in Florida, and was inspired by the resin. So what we did, we used in the rim with a resin, epoxy resin with a mica powder, and made that kind of a turquoise band in there, which is we're learning on how to do this, but it's always good to be on here and learn some good techniques from everybody that's a lot more professional than we are, but learning as we go, and it's a good time, and I really appreciate it for everybody. So
How'd you make the plow? How did you put the plow in?
the plow? You mean the groove?
The groove, yes.
I use a standard parting tool.
Yep.
Okay.
Standard parting tool, and went in. I don't know. I suppose it was 1/8 of an inch, something like that. And the other thing, we thought that my workbench was level, and so we poured the resin and went back out, and it wasn't quite level. So we learned, okay, make sure when you're going to pour the resin that you have a level. So otherwise, what I had to do is sand off a little bit more on one side than the other, but it came out okay.
It did.
Looks very good. It's
Beautiful.
Well, thank you very much.
Good job, David.
I appreciate the, thank you. I appreciate the
Fantastic.
inspiration.
All right, want some comments from his instructor here. Kim, you all right?
Yeah,
Kim?
sorry, I keep saying something, but I'm guessing my internet connection's funky. So that's beautiful. It's a wonderful job. I love the contrast with that walnut. Walnut always looks great with anything you put in the rim, because it's contrasts beautifully. Great job. I'm glad that my videos are helpful. It's a blessing to know that.
Thank you, Kim. Really, I love the inspiration that we get off the roll-right turners. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
That's all I have, Dane.
Thank you, David. Hey, folks, if you're with us tonight, we didn't do the mute thing. I'm going to have to do the mute thing because of the background. Okay. All right, I just did the mute thing because we were getting so much backfeed from folks that had the TVs on and such as that. Dane, am I back up yet? You'll have to unmute yourself, Dane.
You're back, Captain.
Yeah, you're back. All right, folks, if you want to talk to us, press the space bar or the unmute key on the program, on a computer you're using. But if you have if we leave it open and you have your TV on, it drowns out. And that is why Kim didn't hear just now, is that TV sound was overriding what Kim was trying to get in. So that's what we'll do. And we're there, and we're back to doing gallery, and Dane's our gallery master. And we're still at about 90-something people in the crowd tonight, Dane.
I know, it's awesome, isn't it? With
It's
that, let's go to
fantastic.
Washington. We haven't been to the Pacific Northwest yet tonight. Hey, George. Been a while. Haven't seen you.
I know, I've been busy playing. Anyway, there's one of those things that Kim was talking about.
Oh, that's nice.
Because over the wine glass, or over the wine bottle,
The
it
wine
holds a
bottle.
glass on each end. Can you see it?
Yes.
Thanks for the visual. Now I know what you're talking about. Or she was
Okay.
talking about. Yes.
That's all. I've been out in the shop playing with my new laser engraver, so that's why I haven't been on.
All right, well, have fun with that engraver. I guess you are.
I'm gonna try. All right, later, guys.
It's a major learning curve.
You can make those holders with 4 prongs on them too, instead of just 2. I've done those a while back when my wife was selling stuff.
All right. Bill
That's
Luce.
like getting. Hey, Bill.
Good afternoon, good evening, folks. David was just showing a bowl with a bit of epoxy in the rim, and I love doing it. I thought he might like to see these. This is a maple platter with the rim cut out with a parting tool, just the way he did it. Epoxy poured into the rim. This epoxy has got some white tempera paint, solid tempera paint as a color, and dollar store glitter to give it a little bit of color so that maybe Kim will like it.
I like it.
I do, and the sparkle's perfect.
Yes, it sparkles.
Yes, I love the sparkle.
He did it for them chicks. He did it for the chicks. You see that?
Yep. Yeah. I thought David might like that.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, let's see what Greg's got going on in his shop today. Or
Ray.
past.
Ray, unmute yourself, sir, if you would.
Okay, I'm ready.
Go.
Hang on, I got something else on my screen. Let me
I
put
give
it
you a
up
heads
there.
up. Come on now, Greg.
Okay. Let me set this down.
Keep snapping.
This is another pedestal dish I did. But on the inside, my wife has these candles, and she's a lot of candles. So I just made it a candle dish. And if you can see the inside, when I was turning this, it had holes all through it. I thought I was going to lose the piece because it goes all the way on the outside down through the bottom. And mostly all of this was, I guess, wormholes. And I ended up filling it with coffee grounds and getting it to actually stay together. I think putting the super glue on it really helped it, holding it together while I finished turning it. But it makes a really good for these small candles, and the women really like these things.
There's
That is
scallops.
beautiful.
There's scallops, Greg. I tell you.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to lose all the female members of this club. We keep this up. But it's beautiful work, right? It
Well,
is.
One thing, you get to talk about, and Kim's exactly right. Most of the time, I was in a gallery about 25 years ago selling pieces with boxes and stuff. And we talked about the lids coming on. And I was beside a good friend of mine that did wood turning, and all of his boxes popped. And he called me one day. He said, "Greg, we're in the same gallery in Lexington, Kentucky, and why is yours selling and mine not?" And I told him, I said, "Because I'm marketing my pieces to the women, because the women is what's buying our products. If you are marketing a box that pops, you're marketing it for the wood turning people, and they're not buying our products. So you got to market yourself to where the women are the buyers of our pieces." And, and it doesn't matter if you're buying a car, the women's got the money because they're the ones going to give you the okay to buy. And men in certain areas, like a duck call, then you would gear that toward the man. But a lot of times that woman's going to go buy that duck call for that man.
That's right. Now,
You're on.
Cindy Droz does some awesome turning, some very decorative turning. She does a lot of boxes, and she's extremely good at it. One of the tips she had early on, first time I saw her probably 20 years ago, was she would flip the top over and put a small indentation in it and put a stone in that she picked up at the hobby store. a phony diamond or emerald, whatever accent color, put it in there. And that was a big seller because, and Cindy said is, they'd pop the top and look at it, so, oh, look, it's got a whatever, you know, whatever color it is. And that bling was the attractive part to it. And you're talking about pennies. Pennies will make you sale or kill you sale. And Cindy, who does some awesome demonstrations, it brought that to my attention. And Cindy still does monthly free workshops on Saturdays, much like this program is, and that she answers questions, but she has I have co-host. She's got a co-host that relates the questions to her so she can flow right through things. And that's why you talked earlier about the co-host we have. All these people help keep this train chugging right on along. And if you want to be part of the action, join. But most of all, we want more demonstrations on technique. So if you want to jump in and do something on technique, this is a place to do it. And remember, all your friends are watching. It's not that you're doing it bad. All your friends are watching. They want to know what you're doing so they can copy it. Hey, we're back to gallery again at 25 after the hour. We will pull the plug at the top of the hour straight away. That's our rule. We stay 3 hours every Wednesday evening. We also have a fantastic website. And if you want to add something to our website or to our newsletter, all you have to do is send it to us. There's no committee to review it. There's nothing else. We look at it. If it's not 100% commercial, we'll use it. If you tell me you have to use this tool to do this and there's no way around it, I have no need for it because I really don't believe the name on a tool makes the difference. It's that guy that holds the handle that makes the difference.
That's right. All right. With that said, let's go back out to Casa Grande, and I think we got a bottle stopper idea from Gary Hoffman.
Hey, Gary.
I've got a stand for bottle stoppers that I made. It's out of canary wood.
It's pretty.
And it's great if you're using it for display, for selling. I use it quite a bit. I've got 2 or 3 of these I made.
Yeah, a mistake you make when you try to sell bottle stoppers is putting them flat on a table. They don't stay there for a couple of reasons.
This is flat. It stays flat on the table.
No, but I mean, just setting the stoppers on a table by themselves, just, loose. That doesn't work for a couple of reasons.
I like that
These are
one.
nice. It's nice and loose.
The
so I
top
can just
and the
pull them right
bottom.
in, they can get out, so
Yeah.
it works good.
When you put it in a holder like that and you have a better idea. If you, I'm going to go to market right now. If you have them like that, you got 7 blanks. You know that you had 7 stoppers out there. If you have them laying on a table, how are you going to keep track of how many's there? Because they're too easy to just pick up and put in your pocket. Those people exist. Not everywhere, but they do exist. That's why we have locks on doors. We might not need them, but it's nice to know we have them. All right, we're back to the gallery again. Anybody else up in the bullpen? You.
I guess myself.
Yeah, you.
So I can spotlight myself here. Let's see. Oh, spotlight.
All right, you're on.
Here I am. All right, so I had about a piece of maple about yay long that was left over from that 3-foot rolling pin that I'd made for a chef out here. And I'm like, well, that's too good of a piece of wood to let go to the wayside. So I was thinking of making some sushi type and or sake type shot glasses for sushi condiments. Put your wasabi and your soy sauce. You need all those condiments, to drown the fish in, so you can actually swallow it down. So playing around with different shapes. So I did 5, and they're all about between 3 mil and 2 mil. So that's about
See this, Martin? We're back to the mills again, Martin.
And so this one here is about 1.5 mil.
You can read a book through that.
So yeah, actually light shines through them. Just playing with shapes, trying to.
You know, that's a challenge. A lot of guys are not up to taking that challenge.
Decide which one I want to go with, or go with all of them.
What are they coated
Dane, are
with?
those,
So the way I'm looking at it, it's for your condiments for sushi. You know, so the intent is, you know, for me to actually have a, you know, like a square infused wood turn platter, but squarish oriental shaped, which is kind of like my theme as well with my jewelry caddies. You know, but to, you know, have 5 or 6 of these of the same shape, dimension, whichever, and sell as a set, or to market as actual sake bombs. Put them down. So no Parfix 3408 on these. So this is with that hybrid mix that I'm playing with. I spoke about it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, maybe, with that last little mesquite bowl that I turned because I was tired of turning spindle work and I had to make a bowl real quick. But it's with the paraffin and polyurethane mix 50-50. And then with that being diluted, initially I had gone 50-50 with the denatured alcohol and that 50-50 mix. And so now I've increased that mix from being 50-50 between paraffin and the spar varnish, with adding 70% denatured alcohol, and that finish is going on so much better. But still playing with it and still got to wait and see the effects on the sunlight and whatnot. But yeah, so there's 2 coats of that put on there. It's all painted with a little fine paintbrush because they're so small. These are only 1.25 inches in diameter, 1 inch deep. The inside dimensions are all the same. It's just the outside is being squatty and whatnot. But
If you're using it for wasabi, it's big enough.
well, yeah, wasabi, soy sauce. You know, I don't eat sushi. You know, because I don't find it appealing. Anyway.
No, first time I went to eat sushi, I thought that green stuff was guacamole.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That-
like wasabi. There's nothing wrong with wasabi. I just don't like raw fish.
Yeah. Well, it took a whole lot to drown that
And
big
nobody else
pot.
does either, because that's why they have all those condiments for you to dip it in, so you can cover up the taste of it.
Amen to that, Dane. Amen to that.
That's what we make frying pans for.
So,
With you on
Dane,
that.
are those in grain?
stationed in the Orient, you know, even yeah, I won't even go there. They put the sushi out there for the round eyes. So anyway, that's my joke on sushi. So, but yeah, that's what I'm working on with these. So.
All right, it's beautiful work. I love the finish. Of course, when you perfect that finish, you'll write us an article for our newsletter.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I
All
still
right.
got something in mind. I remember Scott asked about it.
Yeah, and at the same time,
What was the wood you used?
I'm
maple.
sorry?
The wood was maple,
No, apple.
apple.
Thank you.
He had some beautiful rolling pins that he made out of that product, and it's some is on our website, some is on our Facebook. I mean, our newsletter this month. Some gorgeous work.
Yeah, thank you, Eddie. So one other point on this was the PIF is in, and so I don't know if you can. You should be able to spot it.
Yeah. Oh, we had it when you were the other direction. So yeah, like that. There it is.
Try to get it to where the head's not reflecting the light.
Are those in grain, Dane?
Yes. So it's the PIF is in, and it's as long as you turn a little off center, from where the pith is going to be at, and you get a consistent wall thickness to base thickness, you will not have cracking.
You said it properly. That consistent thickness is the whole piece. It's not just the sides.
Yeah. So unfortunately, the camera doesn't pick it up, but with it being in grain and with the grain,
Look, hey, turn around. Let's look at the bottom. Look at the bottom.
It almost looks like it's sitting.
See, I can see it. We can see it better right there. You see it? Off center, off center.
And one thing to remember, almost all limbs do grow with the pith off center.
That as well. And crooked.
You keep it thin and even, and it will not crack.
Correct. Consistency. It's got to be thin, and it's got to be, depending upon the size of the vessel. If you're talking something small, now you've got to have thin wall thickness, thin base thickness. If you're talking a bowl, anything 5/16 of an inch or less, consistent all the way around, to include the bottom, and that's where most people will fudge at. If they get the walls correctly, they'll fudge on the bottom because they're afraid of blowing through and getting a funnel. But that's what measuring sticks are made for. You get that consistent thickness and your bowl will not crack as long as you turn all the way through, get a consistent thickness, and you will be good to go on it. You don't have to do the twice turn thing on green wood.
Folks wondering why that works is wood moves. It's a beautiful thing that God let it do. It'll move. So if it can all move at the same speed, it will. But if the sides move at a high speed and the bottom doesn't move at all, it's going to pop. It's going to pop. You can, if you're doing cedar and you don't get it uniform, you can hear it across the shop pop after you've taken it off the lathe.
Yeah, typically I can hear it when somebody is turning a piece of cedar. I don't even need to see it. Oh, I turned a piece of cedar. Did it crack? That's why I made the comment earlier, poking fun at Ronnie with his cedar bowl when he went to go get it. Oh, did it crack? It didn't. He had consistent wall thickness through it.
Yep. It's a trick, but it's not really a trick. It's a technique.
Right. Correct.
Technique. All right. Folks, while Dane handles our gallery, if you got something to show, let them know. Let me remind you a few things here. We have added, which you see at the bottom of your screen, a closed caption feature, and we program it in every week to help our members who had difficulty with hearing and following. Now, here's the thing. If you're talking and you're trying to read that thing as you're talking, you're a better man than me, Gunga Dan, because that'll trick it. Better man and Megan than because that'll trick. You see, it's trying to interpret what I say, and I'm from Louisiana. They never can figure it out. But don't try to read that and talk. Just talk. And for the rest of us, it's there. You can get it to where it comes up in a transcript. And that's what we do to help you. And the next thing is we allow the chat to grow. We're non-political. We're not sponsored by anybody. Regardless, you heard tonight, no one sponsors us. We're not married. We might be dating. But all that because in our chat, you can share Mark Slay's number, the Amazon account. Where do you get this? Where do you get that? Your tricks, tips, and all that in the chat. That's legal. When I say legal is it's there for everybody's information. It's not a promotion. If it gets too commercial, we'll pull the plug on it because we're not commercial. We have got a challenge going right now. Here's the challenge. Turn something. And the something is a bottle stopper. I didn't say a wine bottle stopper. I said a stopper, a bottle stopper. And it can be made out of any material whatsoever, any combination of materials whatsoever. You can do anything you want to the bottle stopper. It can be on a stainless steel a plastic, a cork, a wooden, whatever stick you want it to be on, that's fine. We just want to see your art for turning bottle stoppers. But there's a little caveat to this whole thing, and that is you will give that stopper away, or one of your stoppers away, to whoever you have Thanksgiving dinner with. Be it you mooch one at your in-laws, you invite folks over to your house and feed them, whatever. You will give away that stopper as a Thanksgiving gift. That's what I wanted here. Take it, turn it, send me a photograph. We've already started a recognition sheet for them. So every time you turn one, I mean, Matt's going to be in there for 2 tonight. So every time you turn the stopper, you'll be in that challenge. And we want to see it because we want to see, don't belabor this. I want to see your artwork. I want to see what you came up with. I want to see your ideas. Artwork, bottle stoppers with captive rings, bottle stoppers, here you go, Kim, with resin, bottle stoppers that are kind of warped and twisted. Think about all those techniques that you see on big chunks of wood, like a twist or 4-side or whatever. Bottle stoppers are a perfect practice platform. If you can do it on a piece that's 3 inches long, you can do it on a piece that's 3 feet long. It's the technique that you just keep expanding and improving. That's why we're doing a challenge. We're also still collecting wig stands. Folks that need wig stands, that wouldn't be me. But we're collecting wig stands. And our Freedom Pens Challenge continues forever. We're thanking those who thank us by protecting our freedom. Regardless of what country you're in, we're thanking them for protecting our freedom. So, and I want you to be part of that if you would. We had a couple of, if you have a website, you have to let Dave, our website master, you have to let Dave know what your name and your website's name. And it's not commercial promotion. It's like a little while ago, we're talking to Doug. And Doug says he's done these videos on this item and that item and that. And all those videos be connected to his website. So if you want to find this stuff, put it out there. I once in my career, I wrote a newsletter for a group and I had 3 8.5 by 11 pages of places you can go to find things from Barrera to Craft Supplies, to Tree Line, all those places were all listed and it was an active thing. You go to that page on the website and you click it, boom, you're in their website. It was the best source of wood turning information ever. I'm bragging on it because I had about 5 guys that would collect all this stuff and keep sending it to me. And then we had a guy say, it's too busy, and it got eliminated. Never too busy when you need the information, right? That's it. Anybody else want to jump in tonight? It's open. We got 18 minutes before the top of the hour, and this is your returning club. We're waiting to hear from you.
Yeah, let's go to Glenn. Glenn's got something.
Glenn, hey, Glenn.
How are y'all doing today?
All right, you?
Doing fine. I was down for about 3 weeks. I had hand surgery, so I've been trying to make up for lost time. So I've been turning a bunch of items. And the first thing here, I have a bowl here. It's from a lemon tree. And
nice. That's nice.
So I turned this one. It's about 6 inches tall, 6 inches diameter, about 2.5 inches tall. And then I had a neighbor had cut down a crepe myrtle tree, so I turned a little bird mouth bowl.
Oh, wait a minute! You turned that out of crepe myrtle? You made that out of crepe myrtle?
Yes.
All right, we don't allow bragging here. That's
cute.
Crepe myrtle's a killer to turn sometimes.
I had no problem turning it. It was still kind of green, so it turned pretty easily.
Oh, if you keep it humid, if you let it dry, it's.
Yeah, but this is about 2 inches diameter, about 1.25 inches tall.
I like the lip on it. That's so nice.
And then out of the same branch, it had the crotch in it, and so I turned a little a wing bowl, and the inside diameter of the bowl is about 3-inch diameter, but I turned a little, and it's about an 1/8 inch thick. The bowl and the wing. The wings are probably maybe a little under 1/8 inch thick. But that was out of the crotch of the same crepe myrtle.
That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful.
Very nice.
Thanks.
We'd like photographs of those, Glenn, really would, for the website and our newsletter.
Okay, I'll do that. And
oh, look at that.
This is one of the I watched Cindy Drose's demos on the finial boxes. So I made this one. This one's out of maple. Did a little bit of texturing on the inside. I didn't put no diamond in it.
Well, you see, that's where you'd put the diamond in that little divot.
Beautiful.
Right inside here, yes.
Yeah.
But I made a little indentation in there in case I do decide to put something in there.
Well, you put a diamond in it, you got to send it to Kim.
Uh-oh, well, I guess I won't do that.
But that Cindy's really great on that ring. See that ring? You got to get the light right. You see that inset ring? That's a big Cindy deal. It's a great accent piece.
And this, the inlaid ring is, this is out of Paducah. Kind of dark, shows kind of dark. But then, and then the foot's out of the same piece. It's out of Paducah. But that was my, and it's about 2-inch diameter. And then my other thing I've been working on, it's taken me a few weeks, but I had turned this little hollow form vessel. It has the, turn a little, I don't really care for the finial, but I'm gonna probably try something different. But it's a hollow form and it's got about a 5/8 hole. And the walls are about an 1/8 inch to 3/16 thick, but I did it in 2 pieces. I glued, they're walnut with an ash feature ring, and all the pieces of walnut were drops from other projects I had, and they're all around 5/8, 3/4 inch thick, and I glued them together, and I drilled them out with a Forstner bit, then glued them together, and then hollowed them out as I glued them together. And then it was in 2 pieces, and about in here, right in here, I had put a tenon on one piece and a recess in the other, and then glued them together. And it's all walnut with and it probably has about 10, 15 coats of spray lacquer on it. But
that came out really nice.
That one, because I had a container full of a bunch of these drops from, I had a few years ago, I did a number of potpourri bowls, and I had all the drops, and I said, man, I'm not gonna throw them away. I need to use them for something. So I decided to glue them together and then make a hollow form. And so it's about 7 inches tall, about 2 3/4 inch diameter at the biggest diameter. So
it's a pretty piece. I like the banding. Really nice.
It looks great. And
Those
Kim,
are all absolutely beautiful. Very impressive.
Thanks.
It's gorgeous.
That's all I have.
Well, it's great.
I have one other thing. I belong to the Coastal Bend Wood Turners here in Corpus Christi, Texas. And this week, me and Joaquin, we went to the Coastal Bend Cancer Center, and we delivered around 20 wig stands. And that was one of our club's challenges. And we finally were able to set up a time to go deliver them, and they were thrilled for all the stands. So that was our club's challenge, were the wig stands.
I have a photograph of that. We may include it next issue of the newsletter.
Okay, I guess you got that one from, you get the picture from Joaquin? Or you wanted a picture?
I'd like a copy of the picture. It's
Oh,
easy.
okay.
It's easier for me if you give it to me, and take it off one of the other sources
Okay, we'll do that.
politically. Right, but
We'll
it's a
do that.
great idea. It's a great idea. Glad Coastal has got involved in that. Really good.
Yes.
Right.
That's all I have.
Thank you,
guys.
Glenn. Appreciate
Yes,
it,
sir.
sir. Well, isn't that something? The wake stand challenge continues in many, many veins. I did see that picture. I think Joaquin took the picture because he's not in the photograph, but they
Right.
brought in 20 stands to an oncology group, and there's still a need for those stands. If you get misled by your own local hospital, check around a little bit. Check with the oncology outlets, because it's not all happening in hospitals now. They're outsourcing this treatment. I was offered to get mine to an outsource, but I mean, probably one of the finest medical institutions in the world. I ain't moving, but it came up. Look, we can save you a few dollars. No, you're going to save my life. That's more important. All right. If you turn a wake stand, send us a photograph. Let our webmaster know, our master webmaster know. Dave will put you in the recognition chart. Same thing happens with your 2x4s and your bottle stoppers. In fact, I think we even have one for Brenda's Band-Aid Brigade on there. And it's not a joke. When Brenda first started with us, she'd hold up her hand and there'd be a couple of Band-Aids. And she had some difficulties with tools and techniques and all. And we worked with Brenda. We shared ideas. We share anything. And if you got a question, you can ask it. And that's why we call it Brenda's Band-Aid Brigade. And Billy Dillard picked up on it and had that backdrop done. Band-Aid.
Billy.
Billy did wonderful on that, because we all have fun. That's what we're here for. Anybody else up with something tonight? We got a few minutes. Let's pop in and do it.
Yeah, it looks like Randy's got his video back up. So let me go back to Randy here. Hey, Randy. Missed you earlier. Your video wasn't there.
Okay. Yeah, let me share my screen. I started making a few more pens for the troops. These are the first two. I have 40 kits.
All right, I got to ask you to put the brakes on here. The one on my right, as I'm looking at this, those rings are very uniform. You got to tell me how you did that.
At the nib end.
Yes.
I have a tool from Penn State Industries. It's called a finger grip tool. Basically, it's just a turning tool with a set of combs on the end. And it's very easy to use. You just use it like a scraper. You just hold it and push it right into the wood, and it makes them all at once.
That is great detail work.
When I did it though, I made a little mistake, and I the bottom ring here you see is a little bit wider, because I kind of bobbled it when I pushed it in. You have to actually push it in firmly.
Okay, they're beautiful detail, beautiful. And I like the one on the left with the overcap instead of a center band, to give it more of that old Parker fountain ink pen look.
Yeah, how was
I was trying to decide which one I like better, and I thought, I think I'll make 20 of each.
That is nice. And for you young folks, a Parker fountain pen was the way I went to school a long time ago. That's after we got rid of the chalk and the slate. Really nice work. Beautiful.
Let me stop the share. And this is my fountain pen. Oh, that's pretty.
Oh man.
Man, that is pretty.
Beautiful.
It's curly maple. It is curly maple, and with a, I think that's Cocobolo. Yeah, Cocobolo Celtic knot in it.
Just beautiful.
Nice job.
Really nice, get great detail. That's, when you get that small, that's difficult detail.
Some time ago, I made up a jig to allow you to cut these inlays very accurately as far as thickness goes. And so it makes it a lot easier to make these kind of inlays.
Is that the one where you only make 2 cuts?
Yes.
Okay. I've got the plan for that. I'm gonna get to it one day, just like Kim's gonna get to it one day. I'm gonna get to it and make that because I really like that accent piece. And if you have a platform sand it, you're home free for the thickness. Thank you, Randy. Really appreciate it. And man, that's some beautiful work. Really nice. And those are going to the troops?
Yes. Yep.
All right. Supporting our troops who support us.
The one capped pen, faux capped pen, I have made 2 of them. The first one on eBay is a test. And then I made the second one and I made a number of spacers. So I knew how deep to drill, you know, how long to make the blank. So.
Yeah, no scrap wood. You use good wood to do that because, you know, our rule, there's no scrap wood. All right.
Nope.
Thank you, Randy. Appreciate you sharing with us tonight. 5 minutes to go. Who's got what?
Hey, Eddie, I got one.
Go for it.
So we keep talking about, you know, having a round trip. Don't everybody have a round trip?
I don't have a round to it. You got a round to it?
Yeah, I got a round trip right here.
That's a round to it.
Yeah, well, and it even says round 2 bit.
All right. I never could afford one. I'm poor.
Well, I inherited it with my dad's.
All right.
That just means you got no excuses now, Dane.
Yeah, because he got what? He got around to it, right?
He does. He's got around to it.
Round to it. My dad used to say it all the time as a machinist. He'd always say, yeah, when I get around to it, I'll do that, and I'll do this, and I'll do that.
My daddy always told me my major talent was a dead weight.
My mother had one of those too. Around to it. And I always thought, yeah, now you ain't got no excuse.
I think it's an Ohio thing, round to it, there,
I
Brenda.
don't know. It was pretty popular in East Texas when I was growing up.
Was it?
I've
Must
had
have been
them all
something
throughout the
fast
years.
transition out there.
Would you say Doug Miller?
They've been pretty popular everywhere. There at one time, I've had several that had looked like an Indian head nickel on one side, flip it over and it said round to it.
Yeah.
The things we'll do to keep ourselves entertained. All
Yeah,
right.
buddy.
Folks, it's been a very interesting evening. We've learned a lot, shared a lot. We have seen some awesome wood turning art tonight. Some of the stuff blows my mind of what you turners are coming up. I don't want to say you guys, what you turners are coming up with. We had a great crowd and we're looking for demonstrations. If you're in the mood to do a demonstration, you can do it on your cell phone. That's what Doug Miller does. And a couple others. I mean, we've seen Kay's work from Canada, cell phone. And it's a creative way to share what you know with those who want to know it. And that's how this program was formed almost 2 years ago. And the entire thing come over as, I know this, do you know it? And I'm not going to brag on it. I just want to share it. And that's what I want from you. No bragging, just share it. And we've seen some work tonight that should impress you, make you go out to the shop. And the hardest thing about me doing this program, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I see all this stuff and I'm still not able to do some things out in the shop. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. The other day I told you I couldn't find that bottle stopper rig. I want to make my own mandrel for bottle stoppers. I'm going to turn them pretty soon. I think I'll do a video on how to make that mandrel for those who really can't work all that out or buy a mandrel. Make one, you get a drill shop. Hey, we'll get there. I'm Captain Eddie Castle on behalf of myself and all my co-hosts and all the members in the entire world. We thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you back here again next Wednesday evening, 6 o'clock Central. And with that, I have to say, good night, John Boy.
Good
Good very much.
Good night.
Good night,
Everybody.
Information, Dean.
Nice reindeer, Kim.
Bye, everybody from California.
Save the chat.
Everybody.
Have a great week.
Good night.
Good night.
Stay safe.
I love Kim's outfit. That's cool.
Looking good, Kim.
Bye, Eddie.
Hey,
Good night, folks.
we had somebody very